and say one imbustable mixture, one edu papa, and to say also na wo diabetes, pressure, stroke, Mr. Imbustable mixture, Yaria Biasa crankro, and a man a chance. The coin so I'll be fast on man a chance, and say one imbustable. One more post in a drone be na erani paduanim rahaba shop chemical shop pharmacy biamu ubenya biato honam je na esuro imbustable mixture fa number si na fraye dodo akonya yentena so nche enti ebesore so na de aka nyina ato amoso ya numbers ne 0540 71 01 13 0540 71 01 13 and 0246 208496 0246 208496 imbustable mixture opposini edruno imbustable mixture edu papa imbustable mixture opposini edruno edrobia academ Yada masi nyankopon shramo da se na yebesan so ehia midin afia pokuya sikaba pa uhia me afrɛ me mama imboost
100.5
Hey! When we send your police in your draw, imbustable mesa abama huaden.
Refuse to grow. Any offense swabek and cry.
What the immune system of Yankopon, and your ready pediatric Samoya Hubano, and Nasa wonum imbustable mesa, a peja immune system nabribia. Ya rientimu. Sasa dear, a man for the one, the imbustable mesa, don't want dance say, and Yarwa who ran nipa and Nina etimi banaso, and in Yarwa Cassian Kaya within D and a home car. No, Yamwa suing in no, a way who buy every home. And now one pa, one Yarwana dada, no monum doctor and Rono, and no imbusaba mesanoa, and more who are deep in tea. Ya womuntim pose, Yaria Esomo. Imbusaba mesa, a walk kaisi, and you may move bia your toe in row. At to 0246 208496. FDA, Ashisha said, Jadian Kratui Majiatu say.
Upgrades are nice, but stepping up is woohoo! Because when you upgrade with GoTV, we'll step you up to the next package. Upgrade today to get more than more with Step Up, where if you're on GoTV Plus and upgrade to GoTV Max, you'll get even more with GoTV Super. Get big value, get big entertainment, get stepped up to even more with GoTV. Upgrade today on the My GoTV app or visit GoTVAfrica.com. Terms and conditions apply. Offer ends 31 March 2025.
Glaucoma eni Arabia sa wan hwe ni ye a ebetumi ede how abrow anasa enifraye ama udache enonti na Hopeful Size Foundation and Class Media Group aka bomo eba behwe ye ni ama ye free eti se wo ye obi a woni edi sa wo so a se woni yen wo adwuma bi a anasa wo ben yen po a ene na efia de ya 14th of March anopa no wo twen ekosi no 9 ye free eye screening ede ama obi a kai shane so se dwumadie bekoso e wo Class Media Group asweye Laboni Third Daddy Walk Kweku Bako Street 85 Konya way so nebra na yenhwe woni emaw eye free se wo pencheche mu bi afadwumadie hu a ene na frɛ 0500 538 784 0500 538 784.
Say the Mako who ever Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic no. Me who crave me say enunti no manya award wa. Eya world best. Obian trance Emma Dumpem ya de ka say anase no boya de enkan to dem bio.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Asanya want to say ne ekuro etu no. Ne enkan ewa nanum. Oba na be mo pa wo. Ene enyarwan kaye.
Nansi ma me ka say ene spinal cord ho ekaye no. Greenfield ada romenti ene wasa so de gina na so epiem.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our ultra modern laboratory and a diagnostic machine sir. Ashishe di pedie di mu ankasa. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Ewa nungwa dogon Estate Junction last stop. Frewa 0243 983 906 and 0261 651 898.
Greenfield.
God is our healer.
Greenfield.
Your last stop.
I believe. 100.
ya munyu nko ane asore ne yakua baby wo wie we ya sama me foforo wa ene ye ba nyumbo budget way egu MPP agu the last time Solomon who bobi etina ha o kan say MPP e be yet say PNC ni CPP MPP agu budget when your friend say enidaso budget when your friend say oya de ye budget oya de ye John Dramani Mahama hey budget when your friend say budget enra ye ne ade abeche no ho nkrofo ana obi e hwe se de na President John Mahama on the finance minister NDC government e de na omode ba obi a wa tweyem e twen se e de be unique e de different e de new news be na omode ba for 8 years ni afena Ghana for hunu budget afena Ghana for enya budget ya elidaso wom ahotoso wom wo budget ya chese wodi wo wura hyem wani mu nguase FM shasa me hwesa de ensam ne kwana MPP MPC ya me mobododo no ma ye mobododo na afena marking one sa micro group no am hye fifi kitua bi no ma ye mobom si ye afenyo ya na pon anim guase ya ne doso 24 bomba afenyo markings muti won wo ho keka wo mo no omu yem ye krofo ya guye party e dia na be kwa akoka e wo constituency enti se na obi betimi ayame na ye ye eni esai no yi enti se na obi betimi ababa yame na ye ye enti se na ye wisdom common sense ye wonyansa wo Ghana ni betrim ya wo ya de mani ye ye eni enya opportunity 8 years a ya de destroy ade yi MPP agu opa monya fasting 60 days 100 days MPP agu opa atwa mountains MPP fo nyina nkogu hono mo 100 days MPP yamutu President Mahama gu MPP the first budget a collapse MPP the first budget a gu MPP social interventions. Hey, President Mahama, yenye udeni, wiye bui. Chasana, meni ajia me say me take a me do traffic light as your home. Na doctor kesa to force in kabibia. Afa me bo me nsam sa oka ni na other drivers no omo hwe me na me sere. Me kwa na me drive ba o. Me tie na me bo me nsam say ya sasabe. Bodan fo ya o ti stie ni ma wo twika. Hey! Yes, Marv was I dance with you live from Barcelona. James Sabi Buamene. Ilevi yacham tinton time. Betting tax yacham tinton time. Erisia tax yacham tinton time. Covid levy crown was so mobile bete VAT value added tax reforms committee. Yeah, no mba bet na say because enu nyina mo de awere mu. No ma hu kwan be fa so enu so on be yi free ho. Taxes baku nuisance taxes baku 5 ene and now finance minister say Ghana for my bread, Ghana for my sofa, Ghana for my money, and it's our tax when you know a year from so. Ya bre papa, ya bre pa, ya bre Ghana ya bre papa. Hey, enti say woni papa pa ya do manhye nsa. Ene woni papa ne fa do manhye nsa. Ye woni pa odwene wo man ho, wodwene wo manfo ho. Ya do manhye nsa. Ene woni pa bonefo a omo ndwene wo man ho. Omo ye greedy. The late President Rollins the kind. Omo ye greedy bastards. Greedy bastards. Ebe ji wo man e destroy wo man ebe lutu wo man ewia wo man ebe wo man ya say ye to ebe bu wo man ne kro no ye wo politicians omo ye armed robbers omo ye akromfo atayifo ne ye de wo man ya hye wo mo nsa their intentions in other say o man na ya ba no ye be wia wo man no ne ya destroy wo man no ele Nyankopon so bo nipa bi wo Ghana hanom a Omusu eda ye son wo mu trimu po wani so de hu nyina dan se ye beje wo man ayi wo man yie ye siesie wo man ema wo man ni mu nipa edi yie ema wo man ni hu massive development infrastructure development e wa ya brabom 8 years the Ghana for witness ye e ya politicians are ye armed robbers. Womu ye nation wreckers say omu wreck o mine say ye destroy o mine nation reckless say ye de ye tiri mu panyara say o mine na ye buy and de ye be lutu every sector every angle be bia opportunity bia benya bia ne ye de be destroy o mine 8 years ade Ghana for witness say ya no ene na ka me shata ade white. But when I'm say and ye budget day and I measure tade white. Na kai Ghana for enfie bi atwam akọ. Ya na finance minister bi ekura designer bag. Esha white. Ekuta Bible. Edi chain go chain etu ni kom. Ekwa dina parliament ko present wan ahoto budget. He budget. Eko tu quotations ahodo. Ewo Bible mu. Nani timu adwen boni kenoforiata etimu adwen ye kenipa oye mambofo oye nipa bonifo oye kromfo oye wudiri kenoforiata no ashata de white no okuta Bible no original parliament na waka quotation because when him say Bible ne de Nyankopon fa ne boa won to ne ntem na nkoko yei no de antoa no de river hwan no de river hwan no de aboni hu dua sasama me ba be kan so antoa help me now no de Bible e deceive Ghana for finance minister litirimu odey litirimu wosum adwen boni kenoforiata adwen boni e woni tirim e wudie e woni tin ni policies e kum Ghana for pempem. The policies Emma Ghana from pimpim e yare that them. The policies Emma Ghana from pimpim e jetre esri. The policies Emma Ghana from pimpim e dakom. The policies Emma Ghana for over 800,000. You can't poverty. O hiamu ya. Wamu edemu biye. The policies Emma Ghana from pimpim e dre nyumre no akwa koda. And can konanko wadasa na de anchi biem because ade acha wonim de obedie enipa adwem boni woni tirim kan oforiata finance minister that's a 7 years no aya de so at Ghana for so 7 years no aya de so at Ghana for so because policies go nyuma policies ema abusua toba ha policies Emma obi jani kunu obi jani yire policies Emma investors e jani free Ghana ha Ken Oforiata as finance minister ne policies intino na nka investor bi wa Ghana ha na osu free Ghana kwa na nka okotogo na nka okọ Benin na nka okọ Cote d'Ivoire na nka okọ Nigeria na nka okọ Morocco but finance minister can oforiata policies essay bibia enti some Ghana ha mote ninth parliament afenyo marking ne nkrofo eya me ha me afenyo markings afenyo marking ene ne nkrofo o matina Ghana parliament aka kire Ghana for say mona mo se mabje power ena mabendisi for no mabje power amaba musu betwa yi levy mo bebre pa musu betwa betting tax mo boa mo bebre pa enwisie tax emission tax musu betwam mo bebre pa COVID levy musu betwam mo bebre pa ene mo be sofa pa ene mo ni begu ase pa ene mu nya sika mfanya hwe asamwa afenyo marking minority group in parliament omo ka kire Ghana for no but today ene Dr. Kesato Forsen finance minister me catch that kwa me say ene niam 3 pe ena me be ye de free budget nim niam 3 pe time wa ye introduce yi levy hey Kofo body fend sambre Mrs. Tapeni efia pokuate America Ghana from petax tia Ghana from petax tia ena brochira ha yeti ena America ha ye wai wo ba ha se ya broni tia tax enya ne ya ena hwan ena taxes no eno na broni dia chichi no cross sister sorry makacha mza me yare but man tiam nso adwuma ne ntimi nye mani agi abroso sister ya twam omo ka kire Ghana for say e levy ba ama kwanfu nyina ya siesie so e levy ba ama school feeding credit dipeche e levy ba ma free senior school policy enye mo a espanye nnuane fo ne nkura ne bedi nnuane papa no mu bedi e levy ba ama cocoa farmers enya fertilizer free levy ba ama Ghana ha nyina to atwa levy aba ama Ghana kwa nyina da ne monche monka efutu kwan amena levy aba ama cocoa farmers enya fertilizer amene cocoa production atonsom akofom levy aba ama senior high school for nkora 2024 enwanu amunya bi nidi de koma wo mo no na eye expired rice levy aba ama Ghana ye pa ye ho ye hunu ya sidim. So what was the essence ni nyina dan somebody be ball mine krono sister Afia aban papa aba aban ya wadwene wo manfo ho aba was say with that levy ye betimi a survive ye betimi a ye amena ye ye because levy ni ada taxes na wo me introduce ye no omo de bo Ghana for krono levy and Dr. Kesato Forsen was levy tax refund account mu tax refund account mu sika with the was sika kebenya wo mu 29.1 billion tax refund account on sika kebenya we levy nko ano so aho levy 12.5 billion sika na chere say levy nko ano me mo no ha levy nie levy eya 1.9 billion sika nko a 1.9 billion betting 180 million Ghana cedi nyina Ghana cedi na make account enti a tax refund account sika nko a e wo senka ye introduce new these taxes ni yenya eya 29.1 billion 29.1 billion ye wo senka yenya ye tax refund account mu. But winning BB was said just said you use ye 12.5 billion Ghana cedis. Percentage 43%. Dear ye misappropriate ye just say misapplied tax refund no kwa de nya ya eno de do omu chedi ye do omu wia ye do omu fa ye 16.6 billion Ghana cedis. wɔn introduce e-levy enwisie tax ɛsan so de a betting tax no mo ka ho no ye tax refund account sika ebeto muo kro no mo bo Ghana fo no sika wo mo nya no from this mo introduce ye no 29.1 billion 29.1 billion no do mo na esie so mo use ye 12.5 billion Ghana cedis 43%. 16.6 billion. Mr. Prepare. Me who the way I mean cabro from a preparation. Just say the car ready there. I should call. And in one say almost soon taxes the Ghana for so. Na ye tuya, na almost bois noir. Na o mache, na o mafa. And yes, I mean introduce taxes, me say, ya de babe ye be bia magana for a ready yankopon, Nene Kufado. Hey, next generation, they will suffer. And now Kufado in the family can offer yatanum. You can't say I'm Mufisa granny yedi because you people think say you have money. Omufisa manyeska. Enso mu namo asenso mu hwan ya e wa $6 million ya e wa ya feature hai mu fi sa no anu no ho ya die ni aduro na mabusuan bebo de wo mu se oman e sofa oman mu nipa esia pini oman mu nipa ewo mu kasa mu policies mu programs am introduce e de hardship abret memfuo e mu nipa ewu emunipa ewo emunipa eyale and then na Akufo-Addo nipa nya stroke wo Ghana ha ededa dem sebe etwe omo na ase efa adodro because of omu sika investment ahye omu sika alock baby omu nsanka ni nyina akire no ne de e-levy aba ne de Ghana ketesia ne mrantie youth enya adwuma nye na betting. Now the tax atoso. Ono no bomode enya 20 cedis. Enya 50 cedis no de koye ne betting. No wasan so ate na wo bo ne kro no. And you think say Nyankopon de bechew. You think say na Akufo-Addo wo de extra time na wo bo. Wo 80s. Extra time. They nyame e was nyame ya one why we. But with generation they will pay for your deeds. They will pay for your wicked leadership, your wicked deeds. 8 years. Kwame my starting voice is name ko. Me say MPP gu. Me yasa president ma me ko 4 years because when ko here 16 years so no aka kire say wa bre onko biem. Me say na Akufo-Addo wo the extra time na wo bo. But you think say the we are swing no why a member of parliament, why a minister, why a president 2 times when the Ghana force semwa wo fa say ye Jimmy for and I wonu abusua for we ya ma boy krono but and now what Ghana ha can oforiata what Ghana ha esuko no ma branch me na was esuko no ma abamu awei Dr. Kesa to forcing and I'm bone how a come ahokire enwumaguo sikase ya mode Ghana fo wura mu no ogina ne naso one president Mahama egina brane se omo je Ghana fo free how ya mode omu wura mu Nyankopon be twia mo kase de munwumate Nyankopon fa nchemo o Nyankopon fa nchemo wo be twia ho aka na mo nananom generation be twia so ka emre bi meti se mu fie kidney yade na atie sim meti yetimi boni pa be se 5 mabusham say kidney. Aye, seriously. Emuaya pa 29.1.
In proposing some revenue measures to achieve the 2025 fiscal target for your consideration, I'll first take you to the IMF requirement. Mr. Speaker, this measure is inconsistent with our commitment under the IMF-supported program to observe a non-oil tax revenue effort of 0.6% point of GDP annually as part of the measures to improve domestic revenue mobilization and achieve our debt sustainability target over the medium term. Right Honorable Speaker, despite our commitment to increase the non-oil tax revenue by 0.6%, we have programmed the following nuisance taxes for removal in line with our manifesto promise. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on winning from lottery, otherwise known as the betting tax. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the electronic transfer levy, e-levy, of 1%. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on betting. We will abolish the electronic transfer levy, e-levy, of 1%. We will abolish the emission levy, otherwise as in Wusie tax. We will abolish the VAT on motor vehicle insurance policy. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed gold by small-scale miners. Mr. Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve their disposable income. Right Honorable Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve their disposable incomes. In addition, it will support business growth and improve tax compliance. Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, the tax refund account has been abused in recent years. In the last 8 years, a study revealed that 29.1 billion Ghana cedis had accrued to the tax refund account, with only 12.5 billion Ghana cedis, representing 43% of the total accrued amount, being used for tax refund purposes. Mr. Speaker, the study also revealed that 16.6 billion Ghana cedis, representing 57% of the total amount accumulated in the tax refund account, was misapplied. Mr. Speaker, which is a total violation of the Revenue Administration Act, Act 915, and the Public Financial Management Act. Instructively, Mr. Speaker, there were virtually no tax refund arrests over the period. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, we are reducing the current tax refund ceiling by 2 percentage points from 6% to 4% of total revenue, as defined in Section 69 of the Revenue Administration Act, Act 915. Mr. Speaker, by reducing the ceiling on the tax refund from 6% to 4%, Right Honorable Speaker, we have saved the taxpayer 3.8 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, this amount is enough to close the revenue shortfalls from the removal of the round account from 6 to 4. It is enough to remove this tax, and the savings will be provided to take care of social interventions. Mr. Speaker, already we have saved 3.8 billion cedis for 2025 alone from one source, and this is enough to close the gap from the taxes we have removed today. Mr. Speaker, to address the concerns from well-meaning Ghanaians on how we are going to close the revenue shortfalls as a result of the removal of the selected taxes, the answer is that we have stopped the bleeding. We have stopped the bleeding. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, with this budget, we will amend the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 915. This measure will improve the tax revenue net of tax refund by 2%, representing 0.3% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, in line with government policy, the 2025 minimum.
Come on, the victory of Muhammad.
My mobotito, MPP fire mobo, my mobotito. Hey, we have the men. Say mate for a mate for a memo. As I want to MPP for a promo. We have the men. Say mate for a memo. And I have now hanky MPP for a year. As I want to more. Hey, Aradi, when people form a bow, no better no match now, Crayum. 2 months in Bonnier, 2 months in Bonnier, Arade, 2 months in Bonnier, MPP for better no Crawa Martinemu. Yea, MPP for my mobile, MPP for my mobile. Yea, MPP for Nenio, MPP for Nenia. And I have another one in my MPP. And I have another one in my MPP. And I have another one in my MPP. Hey, but I am MPP a year. Why, Miss Lamo? I am MPP a year. Never much our Mummy. Hey, MPP for I am over Santinis de Minimum Super. MPP for I am over you. Yeah, MPP for Ankabi and Shemo. Yeah, MPP for now, if you know better, no more survive you will create more. Yeah, a jet away, a jab and where a jab. Hey, Nanadre. Hey, Remetini, driver's mate by me. Number day, will cream. Number day, will cream. Hey, yeah, MPP for my mobile. Hey, my mobile do. MPP for my mobile do. MPP for my mobile do. Hey, mobile day. Now, was me a numpany, nanny, a few chamber. Mobile will cream. Ajay, MPP fue. Nana do na busi afwe. John Boadu. Yeah, for the first time Kragana ha. Cabinet meeting. Obi General Secretary bi no dey hangover a cabinet meeting. MPP fue na ehuna mani say yo. Yeah. MPP fue. My mobile. MPP fue. Kwame, unim, eyape, ya cho bewe ya no bi bubuwe a MPP for video bi na enkrofo bi abobọ funda kade ayi omo ayi na atwa ho ahia no eyape video ni bi ne mboma wo mo ai ene de ya yi omo ayi why ya MPP for ayi eh asema to MPP for Abraham Reso de MPP cry contract funda asema to mo cry mo. Hey, President Mahama, Uzudi Biabo, President Mahama Tubu na speed akwana no dey. Yo, President Mahama Tobu why? Ni ankase begu MPP sa. The other year omu 2024 is enough. Is enough. Hey yo, Tobu. the men. Say mate for more politics in the baby woman, no. Ay, ready? It's Sana Gana Bay, they say. Sana Gana Bay, yes, say. Or to try taxes name. Jamama Chitrem. Yay, Adam Abdul Mumuni Subibu Mo. Adam, you know who, MPP fire mobile. Must be my MPP for the head, MPP a year, yeah, MPP fire mobile, yeah, Nanado, the other MPP for you, Nanado. Nanado, Baumia, and he said, I didn't bother with him, said, I'm the MPP. Party Asherman when you say, Party Edward no put another at no position, sir, when you are Brissa, Sagana for sorry, Obajip Ghana, Afedia, Wagu Ghana, Egu Party. Yea, your mamma to boo, your mamma tobo, your mamma to boo, your mamma tobo. Come, mamma next video, the uncle. Mamma next video, the uncle. Hey, MPP for MPP for
reduce the GMPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15% and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the earmark fund and capping alignment act. Right, Honorable Speaker, we'll be amending the Mineral Income and Investment Fund Act to ensure that 80% of the royalties originally maintained by MIF is transferred to the Consolidated Fund for Infrastructure Development. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will strengthen social protection through the implementation. We will reduce the GMPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15% and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the earmark fund and capping alignment act. Right, Honorable Speaker, we'll be amending the Mineral Income and Investment Fund Act to ensure that 80% of the royalties originally maintained by MIF is transferred to the Consolidated Fund for Infrastructure Development. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will strengthen social protection through the implementation of new interventions such as the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions under the No Fee Stress Initiative. The Speaker, it also includes the free tertiary education for persons with disability, free primary health care, the Ghana Medical Trust Care, otherwise known as Mahama Care, and free sanitary pads for schoolgirls. Mr. Speaker, to address the energy sector challenges, including reducing the quantum of large energy sector shortfalls, we will reduce the GMPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15% and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the earmark fund and capping alignment act. Right, Honorable Speaker, we'll be amending the Mineral Income and Investment Fund Act to ensure that 80% of the royalties originally maintained by MIF is transferred to the Consolidated Fund for Infrastructure Development. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will strengthen social protection through the implementation of new interventions such as the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions under the No Fee Stress Initiative. The Speaker, it also includes the free tertiary education for persons with disability, free primary health care, the Ghana Medical Trust Care, otherwise known as Mahama Care, and free sanitary pads for schoolgirls. Mr. Speaker, to address the energy sector challenges, including reducing the quantum of large energy sector shortfalls, we will reduce the GMPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15% and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the earmark fund and capping alignment act. Right, Honorable Speaker, we'll be amending the Mineral Income and Investment Fund Act to ensure that 80% of the royalties originally maintained by MIF is transferred to the Consolidated Fund for Infrastructure Development. Right Honorable Speaker, we will strengthen social protection through the implementation of new interventions such as the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions under the No Fee Stress Initiative. The Speaker, it also includes the free tertiary education for persons with disability, free primary health care, the Ghana Medical Trust Care, otherwise known as Mahama Care, and free sanitary pads for schoolgirls. Mr. Speaker, to address the energy sector challenges, including reducing the quantum of large energy sector shortfalls, we will reduce the GMPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15% and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the EMAC Fund and Capping Alignment Act. Right Honorable Speaker, we'll be amending the Mineral Income and Investment Fund Act to ensure that 80% of the royalties originally maintained by MIF is transferred to the Consolidated Fund for Infrastructure Development. Right Honorable Speaker, we will strengthen social protection.
Dr. Kesa to force no, Dr. Kesa to force Finance Minister, Member Bosso 2025 budget allocations to various sectors or programs. Maybe Abu Bahana Modi Amagana for 2025 Yakon Humabosi Canon. Oma Chichesika, Oma Chicha, Edi Erera sectors, any programs, no. Maybe Abu Boname the amount 13.85 billion. And no, they call the Big Push program 13.85 billion Ghana cedis. Allocation for the Big Push program. Big Push program no. Kwanye nyuma kwanya betimi bie uncompleted projects. Ahodo ya abode wa Ghana ha. De ye jai e de abandoned project ahodo ya eno so ya jade ya toto hono mo school adan ya say enkrotu ahodo a eni so various communities regions ahodo ensuo nim e wo say ye renovation ye siesie adampa ahodo akwanya ahodo ni nyina wo the Big Push agenda no emu tie ka the Big Push no a on say mo na ebia project ahodo a ye jade ato ho ne ye ba be kɔ ho no ebe ma nipa bebre nso asa ye de enye nwuma aye enti eno kwa ye 13.85 billion Ghana cedis. After no academic fee policy, first year students, public tertiary institutions, and universities ahodo ya wa Ghana ha, training colleges ahodo wa Ghana ha. And after so kra no nursing training nyina no ka ho bi first year student and no government there government tertiary institutions no NDC manifesto mu ewom se first year student no omuntua fees exam be kai education minister honorable Henry Idrusu e dey atudwa say because afa na Dr. Kesa to forcing equal present budget nti no omu be twa sika parents ni entua ema wo mo ema no say after budget no ye be refund this sika ni nyina de ama wo nti no so hu sika e ye 499.8 million Ghana cedis first year student public tertiary institutions munsu musika nie. And from this month onwards no going no be hu do be ye e de afa ho and then 292.4 million Ghana cedis and also a distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. Common sense. When second lady mekai yene ni kokko hia ye wani media man hia ni as mama project yi because nkora na bre o se Ghana for mpa de pa ya kasi ya de basan me na me education minister NDC for MPP for kanzemunu bia bi enaba omo be che free sanitary pads sika na munu ze be we kranka mu ya nka taxes ne kranka mu antwam ka ma ne wo because en ma mo de ba no but on say ye twa tax ni mu nyina no mu do ba be sanitary pass no ye be che enkoda omo wo primary junior high any secondary schools no mu no 292.4 million Ghana cedis. Omu ye pe enom si Akosomo Dam spillage no Volta River Authority eye no nanado abreso okogina Volta Regency mokra no mu nimfa so mu hia krofo kra na aka no wabegina ho mu enke hia kra so ono president Akufo-Addo no ono obetu no na say VRF abie Akosomo Dam atwea famus nti oba ba yedai ebe pem ne ya ye kasei under President Akufo-Addo Dr. Baumia Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta one cedi kurebi anko almost say eno so omotwa 242.5 million Ghana cedis equal supportive victims when you 242.5 million Ghana cedis victims Akosomo Dam spillage aban papa na aba no this is the change yenyina ne yepe no afi o ma san so atwa 242.5 million when you 200 million Ghana cedis tidal waves disaster K2 South constituency oh mami beda ya no mo bre MPs omo ho no mo bre papa tidal waves no say ya hwe videos no kwafo ne bra e bere mi kira mu so ahun we first year ubenya nchire mi na mi kire o manti 200 million Ghana cedis K2 South constituency omanfo a epoasoche na botwia fa wo mo so no ye de ekwa akoboa wo mo afei aban ni wiye no 3.5 billion Ghana cedis free secondary education program enti mu amo say President Mahama ni NDC e betwa free senior school policy mu no o se nkura ni bedi di peche nkura ni ba beda yie na mesremo education minister monko fumigate wo mo dormitories no na emoa ewi wo mo pa emoa ewi wo mo enti sika wei 3.5 billion Ghana cedis 3.5 billion Ghana cedis ye di a free secondary education program emu or see free secondary and ya cancelled secondary education program free secondary education program President Mahama can say oba sa policy no obeye ni ye enko yanim afai 564.6 million Ghana cedis 566.6 million Ghana cedis and also comprehensive provision of free curricular based textbooks some Ghana hamote one education minister Dr. Duchimo 3 years textbooks and Korea bi e Ghana ha and anado na metifo no ebu aman no metifo no ebu aman no 3 years basic school primary junior high textbooks omo anya bi enti we se so yesika ye twade ato ho no mo a ye de ekwa sa adwuma wei textbooks 564.6 million Ghana cedis afei school feeding program 1.787 billion Ghana cedis because school feeding program no na ya 1 cedi 20 pesos almost review ediko 2 cedis 1 cedi 20 pesos say somebody call 2 cedis enti enkra na ombe benefit from school feeding program no muntie sika 2025 yetwa edi rem eya 1.788 billion Ghana cedis kodani bedi di peche anopa ma aba ni koko no woni so no apa bia 1 cedi 2 cedis bia kura no lunch de President Mahama say obama nkora na di peche afa captation grant teacher form wa Ghana te form nkasa o aban no ntua captation grant 145.5 million Ghana cedis only say basic schools no enkora no ntua fees no ne ade ne me be o se enkora no ntua no mu ntua eno ne friend say captation grant no eno no sky di rem 145.5 million Ghana cedis wo mu wieye teacher training for mo ho monye mesu say yey teacher training for mo ho no magim say yey we dey teacher training for wo mo allowances President Mahama say also be review no onye review you in 2025 alawa na mo beje sika ye twa ye de emamu eye 203 million Ghana cedis 203 million Ghana cedis afa nursing trainee allowances President Mahama so wontwam o obe review ni nkyese wotwam 2025 budget mu nursing trainee allowances 480 million Ghana cedis 480 million Ghana cedis afei National Health Insurance Scheme apomdin si achi ba sika enusu edi rem 9.93 billion Ghana cedis 9.93 billion Ghana 9 billion 93 million I just said 9.93 billion Ghana cedis and edi health insurance mu afei Ghana Road Fund ya kwan enu sisika ye di ewremu 2.81 billion Ghana cedis 82 billion 81 million Ghana cedis 2.81 billion Ghana cedis ena afei so no District Assembly Common Fund President Akufo-Addo no muntua o okwa assemblies na omonya hwe motete wasa Assembly Common Fund no muntua o enkwa President Mahama ni Finance Minister say almost 7.51 billion Ghana cedis and almost the District Assembly Common Fund mu and they said the various district assemblies na and where my father ni akwadefo no mun kenya mo because common fund eba mu benya adwuma ye afa we wie ye pe and o say ade e Ghana pa ye importation emu entosi tintomantos jene bibia e import edeba enu enti no agriculture for economic transformation agenda enu sisika ye twa ye di wuramu e wa me ankasa me papa Eriko Poku aso ye ho no mo no e ye 1.5 billion Ghana cedis enu no ye de kwa wuram na kire se agric sector ne de afa wo mu wie ye pe Ghana ma mo wo ho ye Ghana ma you dey won ka je say we dey Ghana ma you dey no adim so na no bi wafie yi a kantamanto mai frɛ me se sika pem so yi a donation bebrebe ko mo mpanifo ache obi anya 120 Ghana ma bank no Women's Development Bank sika ye di ewrem eye 51.3 million Ghana cedis abusiafo entino 53.1 million Ghana cedis Women's Development Bank no wonder say nya first female vice president e Ghana ha adwumawura eba na mom me baba ye interview we na mom muntie we ma me mu de muntie we na mofa ma me sesia muntie we ma me sesia me ba na menye interviews is the change we voted for me Professor Joshua Yindinaba Abo, Professor of Finance and former Dean of University of Ghana Business School, Legon, right? Okay. And Professor Joshua Yindinaba Abo, e kwatwetwe nkomo e de afa enne budgeti Prof, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Bacho bibia boko de.
Nyame adom me ho ye na so
Nyame adom ye ho eye. De de kan ma mi sa wunya abre and a budget presentation ya Finance Minister Dr. Kasau to Forsen edikotu dwa no etieb na mini kan enye ni a wo ka de afa ho ansa na ato aso de afri ho.
Okay, me clear budget presentation no. Na in American say budget na quite straightforward or show salient issues no like nyame hu hia no. Or bosso or chair senior practice maybe ye be ye fi ho any senior benya enough revenue and expenditure government are committed to say obe undertake any investments are obey a deep growth beba or senior obey stabilize the economy no because I did a higher pie inflation. The inflation and I'm thinking 3.1%. I say by the time a year the night they do by 11, which are achievable and what's here because the inflation was so in terms of real growth and because I said individual who invest not inflation are you studying in inflation the who here say prices ever the rate at which a price record so another brass so they will grow to who in also and see not the business inflation now or target to say but brown not the who here and a stabilizing exchange rate so that I am not see the depreciate against the dollar and who you say yes now then about but say if you look at growth yeah and the growth last year 5.7 the CDC year the record 4 now a woman but growth no share or so share no say ye nyini de economy ni nyini but engineer ye nya say ehun say business say koso ye hu say kofo nya employment kofo nya ejuma sa na ma na ehun hia or say ehun say inequality ano brass inequality the gap between the rich and poor growth no or say ema inequality no ketwa say isikafo no obusika no do so be say here for into growth no or say a whole bank for so sa and the other thing says inflation was so like me kind we grow through say we grow there I say grow 5.7 by inflation now 20 something percent and no more be but growth near 4 and now 4.2 cra na say inflation about from to single digits we be who for so be and see send America and I know say activities officer undertake the growth in the better or they invest a lot in agriculture, agri-processing, infrastructure, trade development. I think I also boss the first time we have the development bank and establish my man. Because you know a growth because my juma so ninya my growth ekosoro enti no hu hia bebre enti chada makaro
na wo hwe eniema ene finance minister abroso the big push agenda sika ye di rem and then new niema omo person omo introduce sanitary pass ka ye twa e di rem o afenso first year students e water sharing institutions ahodo sika abane de ba eniema hodo e wo mo manifesto mu a omo person omo france ye ni nyina da no ya capture no e wo 2025 budget mu na wo hwe taxes baako enum a ye twam e di afiri ho no mo no a hono no enha wo mo ye koye ni mu no enha wo mo wo kwan bi so
okay the American say okay so government when the promises in the manifesto wakanya ma obeye but government wo 4 years and now 4 years no we really also plans and kakra so that within 4 years to make sure say we achieving na who here say first year no ka so be bibia because we can ni ho enti obere kakra enti but me who say this year no on be do which ever Ghana for any bejimo taxes no so we the brave film mania why me say ebebo an say expenditure bia enwu hia or expenditure rationalization or another achieving fiscal consolidation expenditure no ube make sure the any here no ube ye fi ho ene nia ebebo a economy ni be ko nenim no ube ye no maybe to say a school fee for first years, no. Well, I want to promise a manifesto house or some many problem on who be brave. But near my still say a bad boy, my economy, like Women's Development Bank, and say, we cannot know to the brave, but what you do is like me can work 4 years. Until you understand, say every year, no, we allocate the for the bank, not capital, not cost. So that makes me a boy, my brave. Now, you'll be a friend, leveraging your capital for other investments. If there are other investors and other lenders who say, oh boy, ma, improvement in agri-processing and the industrialization, beba, industrialization so bad. Bema, they produce near ma. Now you import it. So that you import it, so you import, you build a back for ma. You see, Ghana seed, you value in the page. Oh, if you export more, now you import less. Nina a beboa. You will be a friend of Africa Continental Free Trade Area. I stress Africa a mine. You be trading amongst you. The South it may be a Trump AD or the idea of trade wars. Baby, on China for, on Canada for, on Mexico for, a bit affected. They affect other developing countries, say Ghana. In the Uber say your exports no to other foreign countries, no, a bad in Kakra. But amongst African, you better trade amongst them. And it's one of the objective of Africa Continental Free Trade Area. In the trade sector, what we do say, a big man, now you export it within Africa, the brave. Said a bear, a bema, a ticatem, a becosro. Yeah, impossible briswa, a bois, a mastidino, the value of the city. I appreciate it another a cosro.
Okay, ye mineral resources and so, yeah, what can say, over the past years, no, there wasn't kienya di free mono. O mining shed the enyanesa, and they say was so international market na, gold say buono. Actually, akosro and unti etwa edasono 1.5 no ye de call 3%, 3%, and also mu say.
Okay, inti osha gold and mineral say. Ye nyam fa so bebre film. Inti the minister de ebe shahwa ebe boy. Osha gold foreign companies and ebe exploit gold. Osha mining sector now, mining companies. Ghanaians and our indigenous age more. Oko north sir. Nkofo omo de omo experts. Managers no ne finance for ne accountants for ne omo nyina fiable trade eba. Omo be ene salary no de ko pro. Omo export gold so a sika no na aka brochure ho. Na eno na omo de treat omo ka. Ricardo and Ma. Inti, yeah, almost 2 years ago. Young couple, yeah, Juma Bebre. Ricardo so go to some export here. And Pasona and Maha. Inti that, so how are we benefiting? A royalties near there, your film. A be a lower on Koframba, yes, entire agreement with them. Royalty a charge of a lower thing, all Lord. Inti abaye nya royalties bebre. Make I say, Mr. Every committee we saw some time ago. That committee the prostate la kwa na chair. Your recommendation, you check the gold price air costra. Royalty this will end cost. Instead of your check charge fixed rate. If you charge fixed rate, now gold price air costra. You benefit. That recommendation I'm Kusiaga on Fanya Juma. Inti 100 they will say a friend there will be a friend of local content or say young crop for any juma in the sector or say suppliers. You award the contract to suppliers, local suppliers to supply to the sector instead of almost outsourcing the beer to foreign companies. Omo exporting gold to Quabridge, say Sikaneba, Eba Ghana. Never bois, ever can Bank of Ghana reserves, no. Eba Kahwama, the Sikano, Ghana Sikane, Epeja.
Okay, auntie, send me policy on person on the gold board now. They say what some of the $279 million now a very remu. Now I wama juma wamuna a be purchase and export of gold no. E bino so a resi consensus who say a japadiano ne febino and a bay. Usha gold board no solely or no na yabama mandate ato gold ewa Ghana has say na wama export no and no faso dia ben na de beba enkwankwa yete se ebo a wo mo pe de wo mo pe se wo mo ne gold adwadifo na sedwefo ne ye de wo mo pe no ba akwa yete se koko krofo mfa kwan bi so no mo nsmoga emfa nko
Ghana hade ba kwa haye bebre eba no aban adwuma ye hweso ye concept ne de etasum So first of all, what say, all regulate and now control a entity at top gold, no. So that a minimize it illegal, illegal exports money at it, into government and a gold board in that area. Another benefit, a woman say, a Bema Bank of Ghana reserves in the Kosovo because we increase it or reserves no and yes you can gold can reserves your organization friend gold council aka to say gold aka o country reserves I say we seek our war into gold that your gold that a Bank of Ghana aka your reserves into the government to increase reserves and I know to a boama city no emuyedu but the American say efficiency in the running of the gold board is extremely critical. But they run down cocoa board and they do. But you ensure fair efficiency when we appointed the right people. You eradicate corruption in any individual interest in the interest of the state and the Benjamin Fasofi.
Okay. Yakaya banda dano yesi ebe free taxation to production. Afe taxes near the way ban near the way rem near yen say. And no budget team if I say afena ye bro so ye ban in kakra. Se oka obeka se Ghana e mere we eye mere bay. Tax regime bay and answer empempen so man ni gine no. After so follow budget here and finance minister represent here no Ghana future say.
Okay, so who's the objective for financial fiscal consolidation is strong. Who say we show some level of prudence about the expenditure, rationalizing expenditure. Who here papa now national economic dialogue no. Not me one of the teams no. Now, one major recommendation I make here is that there should be coordination between fiscal authority and the monetary authority. Fiscal authority is Ministry of Finance. Monetary authority is Bank of Ghana. Now, two authorities, now anchor. Ministry of Finance one year fiscal anchor. Bank of Ghana so monetary anchor. Two no, I will say anchor me no, I will say juma boom. A bit stabilize the economy no. A bit inflation better form any idea. But most of the time, now you say monetary authority don't want jumano. Now monetary inquiry, yeah, and yet effective. Into what every day for criticize the Bank of Ghana for more increasing policy rate, but inflation that's also is because fiscal no, not reckless, but will show prudence. And a cost so far a beboa. Like once the medical can make us say, who near or say who inflation and what for? I say what we invested, who near returns. In surprises on the market, Okojoma prices was so. When your profits all right, but how count you in Tonyama? Sanity into your growth by inflation was sura. yɛnya ho mfasoɔ yɛnya growth no ho mfasoɔ nti fiscal anchor wei any monetary anchor wei also mo yɛ adwuma bob nti Minister of Finance ensure fiscal consolidation no ebema monetary authority central bank governor ne nkrofo on make sure so monetary policy effective na stabilize the economy no na say inflation exchange rate e be above from na you who growth na upon the don't say growth no mfaso so papa.
Okay, dog mami ni wunye ni say akwaya sa Ghana economy no as and when yebekọ IMF International Monetary Fund because say utie Dr. Kesa to force na obosu bia utimu say budget we no omo prepare no IMF for bem even value added tax VAT reforms committee no ne ade no or say IMF delegation na say team bebem na wo ma transfer review de wo so omo ye ba onu bedi kan ati committee o mbehwem no ne ade anytime bia o my Ghana ya sha IMF ase o ma set e bia target conditionalities e de amaye no utimi say bia economy no yetimi ekuremu e mani grow to edru certain percentage bia eboa ye GDP no ne ade no etimi grow etimi record inflation e bia etimi drop e ba form ye betimi akan say e bia say ya no said the finance minister Kasafi Kwankwe na inflation kwa no mo hwɛ sɛ on betimi a drop ya ba be 11% let me say 11% there about one no IMF na ye hyase no a wo ma ye hyehyɛ ye di so no enu nti na target a ase ya set ni ye meet ana.
Okay, so from experience kakra no I say IMF ne ba yeah, discipline kakra mom eno mo de wo ho but me feel say Ghana ya part of age ye here say IMF ebe peja kin ten bia azana be de kata who shall last election you try to stay within expenditure you expend money more but I say it me yes certain bia IMF any ho inti me hope say you see IMF program now Minister no obeko so sa na ya prudent in your expenditure na make sure say fiscal no you stay within your limit like okan so be establish a fiscal responsibility you know council no we binding binding rules enya ne advisory omo advice ya ye pa na ebe fa de bi nti body no ensure say minister no o di mra no so the fiscal deficit target e be set no 5% e di so 4.7 e di so that you go beyond anytime about fiscal no expenditure no ebro revenue no so be pre no then what do you do or say o kobo besian e kobo besian so na the problems every nti me hope say yes you see IMF program now ebe koso aye ne
ebe to akoso edi ehuni uni professor me pese me no wie but we de ma me mre kitu bi ye wo Ghana ha 2022 before ebe kwa IMF no na said the fiscal space be any baby rating agency say rating Ghana debt to GDP over 100% na for inflation na kwa akodu be 54% emu ene introduce e-levy na Ghana for kem Ghana for soon Ghana for any braye ye introduce taxes bia and finance minister Akache say tax refund account to sky generative woman 29.1 billion Ghana cedis a year cheno the use ye no 12.5 billion representing 43%. So ena the misapply enko no 16.6 billion 57%. Professor MPP aban ene Ghana for di ni ye wo bra sa taxes we say no na wo mode ba wo hwe that time no said the no man economy no esitie said the natimamufo asetrem ni abrabote ne ye introduce new taxes ka buy no emu 43% penny use ye the ya misappropriate no 57%.
Okay, so taxes need to introduce especially e-levy. Some of us not first here because in finance ne obi e fe no financial inclusion and as inclusive finance na mobile money num ne fintech ne products no na ema nkofo bebre na omo ni bank accounts omo ni formal financial system no na omo patronize the service but immediately introduce reduce inclusive finance if you educated for people stop using omo mobile money num ne ate nkofo resources to use of fiscal cash. And some of us say, monetary policy, financial inclusion, who here because financial system, no nipa betray participate here, and monetary policy effective. Because banking system, no, and our banks, no way agents for implementing monetary policy. It is the proper integration. A better monetary policy, no, lose. Into to that extent, if you say tax na levy no na ehu hia. COVID, so that's how about so okay, you're moving out until we could have exited that tax regime. But in the me what me about it. Me feel say I was say a change behavior. The idea is to change behavior. Normally, way to impose the tax is to change behavior. And way to impose the betting tax to discourage the youth from patronizing so much of betting because our disadvantages they pay. I know the any problems are. But COVID
but at that time be a juma obi graduate etifie nurse for gufie pharmacist for gufie a teacher for gufie munya adwuma nye na se nipa ne hyedam ese ensan so enya adwuma no some pepper reinforcement nsa na oni adwuma ye enti no bebre no an onya 50 obi boa no 20 cedis ko twa better do benya no say wo discourage ni say be adwuma na o de ba no onko bokro no ana wanye de wo hwe World Bank report om de ba ya Ghana for over 800,000 your friend poverty we hia pa wo dem o nyina ka ho bi enti we introduce ase kwan bi so no na kire se ne say wo discourage no from the no graduate or shed dem wanya aduani ni na kire se onko bokro no sabe oba so onko into prostitution
but myself nim say that thing kire se who try wo be bi o
any day is true there
gaming and why you careful for your youth or new juma or yes at the kind of behavior at the kind of or start ye juma no any car you see Canada coin to gambling one should be lose the investment risky into instead of and automatic so who try now be bia who try who says some form of investment who try I'll take a it's kind of a fine but that's in the antisa it is a lottery
prof dia wo kan dia no anu no seka eya oman ya enwuma wom na nkrofo awie school na se nkrofo nya school kura nkrofo nya adwuma nye enom go bet so na ye say the 50% betting tax credit bank ye be foa so but on sa bandada no abre ne de tax regime no ekwan ya ye mfa so a ye nya sika because ya kwa IMF ye ni fiscal space bia enti no ene yemfa wemra ebi ni emission tax emission tax no a wo mo de beba ye ho prof salt ya see
no can and in terms of rationalization they now say here say expenditure no you better so you will be kasa about free SHS concept a brilliant idea very brilliant idea but then if you say you best mind say that expenditure no so another bracket Inti tanya mani check dia nka taxes ni be obe yefio my problem there but because you say yeah all the expenses involved in free SHS as we're running it now inefficiency so instead ma you keep it taxes no and taxes no so na a create problem in the economy
ne kra no President Mahama 2 months and then in the first budget presented by the Finance Minister Dr. Kasato Forcing dia na wo be ka twa to wo reti aban no adwuma a wo mafiri ase a wo be score mo sen.
Okay, scoring it means to be my percentage, but the mechanic say was starting even the economic national economic dialogue no crowd fair organizer was very useful. Me team kophobia makaso abane ba so no one ideas. Yes, I be ba fi na friend kofo. Me say that's wrong. You don't say that. Abai bia ba or the manifesto. But when you abai no ka say me say me frɛ nkɔfo wunim academia civil society organizations experts in the field munyina mombra political opponents munyina mombra na dialogue na find solution. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Can Ghana no you be develop it because you're Ghanaians and not because you belong to political party. In the no there, me bo aban so me bo na ba so pa. And I'm sure the budget no so. A lot of the recommendations about no they've been incorporated. Manifesto do. Which is the manifesto my ho and they are achievable. Which is a nya dia o kaka bibi to gain power. Which is a nyama o kaka no. And na omo akasho budget you. In the sense that that's the way to go. The era political parties that the campaign no more promising nyama. I think Ghanaians ye nya tete here. Into can be there. They say who say that I can obey me. And so never about nabaso. Onkoso na next year you get another improved version of this budget. Within the 4 years, never be improved. Then the next government will take it up from there.
Yeah, that's Professor Joshua Yende Ba Abo. Yeah, that's a say when you bread ediamaye and a I was your for menena chepa, and you know, in here. John Mahama, President John Mahama, Egu MPP. Hey, also that phone poo. Hey, also riasie, also nim guasie nye fe. Hey, on set de bia meka. Oh, political party mua. Na se we leadership. Wo mpelifo a wo mudi manimu no. Omo ye ne emehunu. Eniema enye. Na se wo dia wo se party ni mu a na wo free entu be defend a wani be gu ase. On se ye call IMF 2022 ebe. De bia me ka se IMF no ye call ye no de wi ana ye debt to GDP ebun kan bia fa ye so yaka ye revenue ye bibia ye nya cocoa gold bibia ye boa no a na ntimi ntua yaka ekoya ne ye se e wo se se hia bibi fufuro sasa sika fufuro ne ekofa no Togo se Benin o se Nigeria o ye nim ekoya kwadu 104%. Enti de ekosi ya ne se taxes nuisance taxes mo go do dia na mame mo go dia ma kakana me nya hu interview why mesra mu na mesra ogina so ma me why na me ba be ye interview me kwana me ne Michael Kwadwo Pepra, President, National Concern Association of Small Scale Miners Association Ghana kwakwe back mo mame mbo hono mo no fani kakra bia Dr. Akasa to forcing and no can fa ho so ho omuso nya omo chefa enti yentie ho no ne part kakra bi na any small scale miners ne me di nkomo na ya ba bedu sa gold board no enso emu nsem te Ghana ha we MPP ni levy ai na Ghana form per tax tia backing tax na wo support emi kisuan pa say utu car cars 100 to aso e bia car ba ko trotro ba ko ele to wo misie cars 200 kwa car ba ko na e bia to wo misie ne yatimi ahwenya nkopon anim wo Ghana ha e de misie tax ne enwisie tax ne de ato Ghana ni so say yentua ne yetua misie tax time on so am introduce this new san taxes no that time so na Ghana for wo ahuyehiem ahokyiremu abanya ya mo friends mu sukunale ye ne mo abanya wodi levy by electronic levy eba ya omanfuo su omanfuo esu yese nkrofo we de common sense so kwa de sabo
the GNPC share of net and carried net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15%, and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the Earmark Fund and Capping Alignment Act. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will reduce the GMPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15%, and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the Earmark Fund and Capping Alignment. We will reduce the GMPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15%, and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the Earmark Fund and Capping Alignment Act. Right, Honorable Speaker, we'll be amending the Mineral Income and Investment Fund Act to ensure that 80% of the royalties originally maintained by MIF is transferred to the Consolidated Fund for Infrastructure Development. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will strengthen social protection through the implementation of new interventions such as the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions under the No Fee Stress Initiative. The Speaker, it also includes the free tertiary education for persons with disability, free primary health care, the Ghana Medical Trust Care, otherwise known as Mahama Care, and free sanitary pads for schoolgirls.
National Concern Association of Small Scale Miners, Ghana, and Nkwatwe and Komo. Uncle Mike, are you my high? Na boko dear.
I don't know.
Yo, na and a budgety. Musu Munya Mochafa. Yachan Kakra, Munya Modie.
I've been a wedding. I've been here with you for me, Washopo. As a matter of fact, and that a at the small scale miners. My engineer said, my paying to Ramadi Muhammad, and some of the during the campaign time. Now a war NDC manifesto. Mining committee led by Dr. Tony Hobbins. About around every year, various small scale miners groups, exporters, any buyers, I think and ama you say president or nipa or no for now is an honest president now or nipa that be asamo kano idea oil na a better nothing secondly a better finance minister as well and some omo buy and change omo discuss when Sami Jemfi Honorable Atuportin, ABC small scale mining groups, maybe Ewo Boase. These are the same issues I did to money said. 1.5 withholding taxes now you channel. Now a very big head at the Maya in the sense that almost to go to this one. Almost charging says can be small scale miners. Now almost for there. So indirectly, that taxes, they are there when they are bringing out prices for the buying of gold, now, and on ama, bad price. So we are gold now, come buying. Now I buy it to me export, not our gold, no matter through Cote d'Ivoire, any Togo. It is I buy any withholding tax in there. I think that now. About person here business through the gold border. I think that this is the time about to me any profit from the process of small scale mining by making sure say now that we don't taxes now and before putting kind edge free or na area of my exporting gold liquid to be normal day a be after man and no Amaye who said now at least when the gold board comes on board at least yes small scale miners we can easily sell our gold to government so that the foreign exchange here to stabilize our team, it may because the leading exporter of commodity in Ghana is gold. And to say at the end of the day, it may exporting enough gold. Now and for possible buy gold in April Now, at the end of the day, foreign nation, I think that this is the way forward. And this is a human.
I'm consulting. And same be a momo kaya na chasabano krejina so di gold board naba. Sanse first no, say na quantity no. Na enye papa bia.
Mini aba gold board emanated from small scale miners. The Obeka say gold board buy and they buy no. And a catcher buy say look, people are making money at the expenses of the country. In a sense, say PMMC. And there was also small scale miners for gold. I buy no fees, no ononista. He was not interested in the buying of gold by making sure that in adequate funds to PMMC. And in India for China for even Burkina, Mali for even Fulani for Krano. Now Omo and Omoto gold every year small scale miners for now Omoto. They are the people who determine the price. Because I buy this store better, no, oil umwana watogo. And the oil and say, no, never. The world market price is 500 out. Make us over 300 euro. Meanwhile, no, I calculate 1.5% withholding taxes in the account. So the gold that they were buying from small scale mining, they are a rip-off. And at the end of the day, don't say India for the Gua baby. Omono, what they do is Omuto we are instead of Mepo, not Omonde 1% no Edia Koma by no more Edia Fa Togo, Ebia Cote d'Ivoire, Ebi Woman the family, Ebi if they are exporting things from this country, now Omonde are gold in the initial ticking, no more they are buying port in the port. And at the end of the day, the foreign nation are buying anything, so they were finding a way to get outside this country. And they have small scale miners, and she said, only for no better friend or small blind and farm. And see, are buying snacks. We met on the 11th of June 2003, no, 2023. And I'm paying John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
And they said they should bring something out. It will regulate the buying of gold. And as a matter of fact, the India for China for air benefiting from the buying of gold there. Other than buying money in inquiry, Because look, if we can make a month, don't about me, I export gold worth almost $1 billion or even $500 million. It means the demand for dollar, no? And for being be the to man. Gold in inquiry is our foreign nation united. Abba, there should be a baseline. On the bit me monitor, no, the sole buyer of gold. That's all be proper gold at all. Instead, so no better particular buyer or no. On the moment, now I buy mum 8 million so far so they will monitor the influence of the foreign nation and our bankers or what yes. It will met again before the election. And Omodi manifesto debate the mostly miners say now they catch Omono, they have initiated something via a friend gold border. Ever replace PMMC. Now, the truth of the matter is that PMMC also gold, and only the mobile said, no any gold board. So gold board itself is not going to be a new office. It's all the old office now PMMC, and no or mobile replacing any gold board, which in a way engagement we have been duly part of the engagement. At the end of the day, even the laws that ever parliament in Nayakaho, look as a Friday, Yemian Samiji and Princeton, Kosiano Takwa with information on the miners on PFP. Now, Omahu said the gold board now, initiative, and one are buying there. So, what to say, Obi misconstrue the information on the gold board there. We are telling them say na gold board no you catch them and pay Mahama and that no catch.
Okay. Okay. Because Nkrofo Frase can say Ejapa deal ya MPP aban ede eba o si gold no ye de kakra ewomu no eno na wo mo peso mo fa kwan bi so ase ya ye nhede nya fa so nti wo mo ye na Japan be ye ho no eno ani sa gold board na wo mo ede so what's the difference do watch mama mati ase but ma Ghana ni enti ase se ehunu mu eye enso sunye bay and that gold board any Japan
it's a different together.
Okay,
I had to say osono any butterfly untimi nka say osono ni butterfly abiko Japan dey any say royalties na aban odiji free large scale for no that royalties different from small scale mining for gold a good year aban any free large scale for no and then be say omubema Ghana for business now at the end of the day omubema koji South African free sa emrofo no Anglo Gold Asante new month no we power go through the more now omumom agigi say can because omubo Ghana business after 15 years South African no omumom beje ko gold board no different from say enkofo mienu bia kote company na almost say ye royalties na ye no omumom be ma Ghana botia na ewi omumom agigi sa to go no for 15 years gold board board me no ka say existed that they said PMMC there was small scale miners for on the board there were enkofo abaya appointee on the board there were finance ministry nipa on the board there were buyers gold buyers association almost nipa on the board there were jewelry makers omunkofo on the board these are the people almost constitute the gold board and the gold board is not an enterprise to say they are registered this is a program abanya sisa eco parliament na be yemra
me tie pa
gold na say be here better free Ghana no Ghana for dia small scale mining is meant for Ghanaians and a gold means so ye de ba no broni na be ba beto no to we are ono no den the price then ever and this 500 on the world market price no the cost of better 250. Yes, small scale miners for you say in a sense that on only penny what about purchasing power. But this is a situation now. I buy so okay fine. We are brony. We also go there. Say go in there. I will promo. Lemon. Yeah, I buy a purchase card. Now you baby offices right in the various regions. Now you to go to know. The friend for be omuna I buy this kind of more. Now yama local. For only being buying license, right? Until Nippon or top small scale miners, the region will make accounts to go in ahead and airport. Until Bonini here go there, and you have to know by your direct. You would have to go through government, send the government to who seek out the money laundering and the ambum. Send the government to monitor the fixation of the price because the buying himself, you see, no withholding taxes in your term. And as a matter of fact, only mom better. I think the only in the world market price and the prices that government will buy from us, it will be better than the Indians and the Chinese. If you also indirectly,
na achaza kwa akoya se cocoa okay akoya se cocoa adwadie so ho yes akoya se cocoa yeah cocoa board yes. Okay
and, we Ghanaians now buy Empower. The gold board itself is going to make sure that you be all the China for a year. Now, that's because we need equipment. And the buying in pay for Kasaya, you are saying any Dr. Tupos Kasaya, and they said, okay, fine. A component of gold board, what they are going to do is that they are going to provide machinery. It is a way I mean, okay, they want to have small scale miner. And because of machinery, since only China is for years, man. The China okay, fine. They are going to create a plant pool in various mining areas. And it's all here. You just go there. That time, gold board is all making sure that centralization of acquisition of license. In Tubacco district, concession we are. Okay.
To me,
okay. This is a very good project yes small scale mine.
Now 1.5 holding tax here abans where you dear freeway. Also my introduce my increase tax for fra and also minerals no from 1 and yeah okay no yeah okay no nyamomodi okay me da say awie adaje nemre good board in the watch mama me ankasa metiefo ate ase pa o mate ase pa eda ase awie oh good board ate akwese se cocoa board ye cocoa we tobi China for you tu no almost smuggle no mo dey money laundering but ye ni nyina good board so ho no mo extra price dey atoso na o mato ne kama money laundering no ne smuggling of gold ni ade nyina ne atuatu akwan a hey politicians mo wo krom ha de mo ya dada for papa ene enru be se June de na se MPP egu kra enru se de ade no 2 months nie oh se de
we je men se
de ke ka kwa ne de enru June de
wanga se ha
Kwame Misro bra bet na machia na ya de ma me. Makwa bie we na tum na yibo. Enu June de na chere se de aye ne de MPP agu. Hey President Mama relax na ya Ghana na wo bebuo why. Ghana na be relax. Speed na wo de MPP fo akọ no anu ode. Speed no yesrew. Anu ode relax. Papa JDM. Mama Lord, tell your husband to relax. Speed in another day. Abusia for me Mr. Samson Asaki Irene Gobit, Executive Secretary, Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Asia. Hey, your mama and Swade. There's a person in one political state and one party state to Ghana Hanumana. Now, me no beba. Me share a yibia one more aka or say enema 3 bi mpese me boso ansa na mpacho wabem enema me ense bia omo ye omo twescom de babetu assembly members ka omo tweska yes eska no omo de babetu assembly members eka ona allocation
yeah 100 million Ghana cedis
100 million Ghana cedis 100 million Ghana cedis on be assembly members ka and then aside that was a pharmacist for over 320 pharmacist for over 320 so no one 2 years arrears abanda than into omo 2 years and also da ho a
am say omo recruit omo
ye adwuma
and they haven't paid them yes
for 2 years and also omo baba betua so pharmacist for no
and omo kwan be there.
Yes, pharmacist for no 2 years ni also open social media no more concerns near the ahead of
when he was engaging the youth.
Yes, I had some prepare budget no who you say 2 years ni yentu a omoka pharmacist for more than 320 yentu omoka and I assembly members so 100 million Ghana cedis e be ma mo allowances ba onim ade ba ko kan ni say an amount of 2.2 billion Ghana cedis is required to fully capitalize NIB and ADB Bank of Ghana. Enye sika bi se na banks ni hia Akufo-Addo ba omia ban kenofori atamo omu hia 9 billion a omu collapse no a enye sika bi se na no omu hia.
Na ma me chia oti for ina abe mo wan say no person bomb din na wa hu din.
Oh Debbie. Oh Samson Asaki are you go bit within the
me chuchu muchu. On tem bomb din.
Utimi shia baby de me kire se me yiri ni o.
Me say obi say.
Utimi shia me baby.
Na won yem ye obi atie ina nim say na ma na awengo de o yem chuchu muchu. Na why you wadwen ye na me na kire
na Debbie ho chuchu muchu ne kana ye woda na eye woda na wo kana say
David me de me yesi
me pacho me no chuchu
anajire me de baba ma wo papa
me nya wo chuchu muchu me sro
me kwa kwa wo bra akonta papa
nya wo chuchu muchu em say chuchu muchu ne that word em say ne kan ye woda because the reason say we share baby na ma do ye chuchu muchu
do o yem so
me pacho me nya wo chuchu muchu why
me be ma magina ma na so ntem me se we yem chuchu muchu me be ma Me chair with for ina. Ene ahwefo.
My first chotwa mucho pa.
Ai pa. Na statement that no kind no.
2.5 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes, they spend 26 point something million or so instead of to spend, let's say, 5 billion.
No, 9 billion. 9 billion for those 9 banks now.
It was 9
banks
billion.
It
was 9 billion.
9 billion na banks ni here.
Yes, it was more than they needed 9 billion.
9 billion.
But they spent 20 something.
26 billion. And omudi go banks.
Still, yet we still have people kissing, and we know very well that NIB and agricultural development were also having challenges. That one, the Ghana for in Monim say they were having challenges. But they were not reporting the right books. And so new government has come. Say so one new MD have come and they asked for the report. I think at one point at the first said the MMD is another things, agencies no. They asked for everyone to bring a report. And I'm sure it was out of the report that they got to know that this is a challenge that they needed additional this amount
two bags in here 2.2 billion
to be able to for them to come back to 8 feet.
To revive the banks.
To revamp them, exactly.
Okay.
But Atufosin did a very good job today. Fantastic delivery. Very influential, very fluent in his presentation. No?
Okay.
What suffices me is that he even went prior to the presentation Osa market Atufosin and the deputy minister designate no. Now, is it now deputy minister or deputy minister designate? Apem Danko.
I'm on course you're in.
Now, okay, so designate no. Omuina kwasi omukojo.
Weekend omukojo.
Yeah, omukojo. Omu make women ko kasaye. Nti when I heard say or abolish or scrap off the COVID living, I said this is a boost to business community because my okay is a very beautiful young lady be no kasa na mami because say who ina irano. Say, Nema Oba about 1,003 something. Less than 2 weeks, Oba say 1,007 plus. Also, on him there way or come back.
Yeah,
he was helpless.
The video ne wom or said Adi or Kotoye say 1,003. Afe or Sakwa buy or Sakwa say 1,700.
He was helpless.
And then money be so can we free China. Let me produce bibi or Ghana Hanomwa.
So when I saw that about how much billion Ghana that they are going to allot to that area. No, MSO and it so budget no one does so because one crane Freeman River. We've been told say over $400 million Ghana they are paying imported frozen chicken.
Say
$400 million.
$400 million annually. Afibia.
$300 to $400 million. And they crack nam. Akoko nam every man in Ghana.
$400 million.
$2 billion. And they crack Edwani can't do any among every man in Wow. Until when President Mahama talk about the big push, right?
The big push agenda.
And talk about the agriculture transformation agenda, no. And it came to the budget now. And we say, let me appeal to the government because say, don't come to parliament and give us good figures. And when they come to implementation, now the poultry people will come to tell us, Mr. Sake, your budget now, but I know, say, and I know and I believe that from the way Atufosin is very disciplined, no, he won't come to parliament to say we have allot this amount to support this industry, and he will make sure the money will go to the people, the rightful people. Let me also appeal. I'm not saying Obian started business. If someone wants to start business from scratch, no problem. What they said, Nanama say who person start business from scratch, no problem. But to certify the industry, no, those who already have the experience and the infrastructure. Say a poultry now, they are making sure don't just give them the resources as well. Don't just give them the money and go and say that the government has pushed this amount of money to support Omoambaye and Koko Kiriketino. But supervisory rule is very, very key. What is Kama Bia?
Now, man and Kokonoa.
No man of Kokonoa. Now, some man subsidized feed or whatever. because the big push is that the mechanization, no, farm centers now, your mama want to set up, no. If the machinery, the input come, and they give to the farmers now, don't get say we have given to the farmers and go sitting. Follow to see whether are they when they went and cultivate the land for Awingo, 10 acres now. Did they make good use of the 10 acres? Say, yeah, bro, is it there? Say, yeah, soya beans, is it there? Say, me we are. When it's time for harvesting, I don't need to go and look for a buyer. Okay. The government should make it like the buffer stock or any other agency should come to take it from me, from the farm gate, straight away. Likewise, the poultry growers, the poultry producers, when you give them the money to grow, to go into the poultry, make sure, say, there's supervisory. Every 2 weeks or every month, there are different officers coming to check on different stages of the poultry. Say, as a career, if I need $5 million to set up processing for the birds, and you give me the $5 million now, follow up to make sure that I've actually brought the machines, I've actually constructed the infrastructure. Then, if Nana Ama is the one who also gotten the Akoka Kiri, I will tell you that, okay, I need 3 kilogram of the fowl, or 4 kilogram of your fowls. So, anytime, every 3-4 weeks, maybe it has gotten, the fowl has gotten to that stage. 1,000 bed, my baba fa. Papa Abano also what 2,000 bed, my baba fa. Then I take it to my factory. They'll slaughter them, process them, cut them into pieces, package them. Then the frozen food importers will also come for it. At that time, it should be a subsidized cost, because I think per carton, I think sometimes you have about 5 or 10 of them in one carton. But Okoto, maybe 350 Ghana cedis or 400 Ghana cedis. But what we were getting from the local market, one live bed, because of high cost of feed and everything, borrowing, interest rate, that's, Okoto Akoko one. If we don't have 200 Ghana cedis, I don't think you get any special Akoko. I mean, any weighted Akoko. Yeah. But if you keep at 50 cedis or 70 cedis or 90, you go to the frozen food people, you can get wings or thighs, drums, then you go and prepare. So if the Nippon only 200, that means Nippon on Timmy Akoko. That is not the way. So that will be very expensive, and that will forfeit the purpose of what John Mama want to do. So when you give them all this, they have to give them a price to control the price, so that the importer doesn't dodge to go and import, because cheap, maybe less than $10 or $20 per carton. What do I say? But maybe here we are costing maybe $100. There's no way you go and buy. He cannot break even. Okay. So let us sit all together and say, what can we do? More mokofa nam nebano. And no more person empowered to grow no. And no more super feeding no. What price from the farm to the poultry? Poultry owner, what price from you to the processor? Because the processor must buy from you to kill it and process it and package it. What price will you give to the importer or the buyer? That's the cold stores owner. So that the price from the supply chain, from the feed to the poultry to the processing, where they slaughter them and dress them, to you before you cannot distribute it, no, it won't be so much. That is why we should be looking, or else we'll keep on pumping the money and not getting the yield. But if I saw be mini poultry farmer be betna hane kasa or saying se no free akra ha start free poku say or konko kwa or farmer na omo poultry farms no more than 150. But a free say crisis by ye no poultry feed no shoot 2 year no ne and ma bebre no eguya ma ne ka be say 80. So we are going to do commercialized production. 150 no eguya farms ni guya ma ne be ka be say 30. So we are talking about commercialized production. Commercialized production that will help people who do soya beans farm in hectares, the people who do maize farming in hectares with control price. Maize no so that akokora no ontum baba die by say ampa o ma misken there, but me kokoto fit na fit no boy. And based on that, I cannot give to the price to the processor at a specific price, and the president can also give it to the cold store people at a specific price.
Okay.
So that all of us can benefit in it. And the money, the amount. Look at the money I mentioned. 400 million. No, even half of it is staying in this country.
$400 million.
It will stabilize.
Yes.
Exactly. Then over $2 billion. We talk about bringing in
rice.
Food. No, if even half of it should stay in the economy, that's stability that I talk about. It will come to it will yield, and that's positive. That is positive. Then, of course, we talk about the amount of money that is going to the development bank.
So development bank.
So, bank no, because President Mama can say you may not need so much collateral, but that also that also let me advise that we also have to look at the risk level. You understand? Profile them. And that is what I think President Mahama was, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia was talking about rating or something like that. If you are economist, you will understand. You will help me from there. The rating, so that you know that credit worthy, so that such a person or walk into the bank and they will be able to give him that soft loan. Then you turn around there and you come and pay, so that people doesn't take and think that is a bicycle and take a bicycle. You see what happened at the enterprise agency, no? Remember that thing? Let's go back to the previous government. So the money that was given to be Jadifono, are they able to recoup it?
Yeah.
We must be able to follow this to the latter.
Okay.
And this or the scarabagum or the scarabagum. But and I was happy when you talk about over how much million for the sanitary part. That is also another area to boost the local production, so that those who will get the contract, contract or Minister of Finance or and Minister of Education, then they will directly say, look, unless you are not getting the quantities from the local market, you can't import this and bring it. What it means is that if more demand is coming to buy from the local production, they will expand.
Now, Trade Minister, Madam Elizabeth Fosuajare, what company will produce sanitary pads?
Good. So good. So, yeah. But be mindful. Sometimes there are foreigners also here. They are here because our economy is good. If these are the people, because last time I checked, the time President Akufo was giving one district, one factory. A foreign competitor will go and give you one district, one factory. If today your economy is not doing good, you will get back and leave. That was why 2023, 2024, many people leave the Ghana because inflation was catching up, interest rate was walloping, and so they have to pack and go.
Yeah.
But if you have given that to indigenous, I'm not saying don't support investors to come, but if you have given that a chunk of it to indigenous to produce, set up, help indigenous to set up those factories. Because if you are going to make a profiling of those factories that we are talking about, I can tell you, you will not see Ghanaian who set up those factories. It will end up being foreigners. And if the foreigner, he's here, it's like American. They are like American. They have a permanent interest, they don't have a permanent friend.
Okay. I was for Honorable Adama Suleiman, MP for Tan constituency. Join me. Ewa has saying,
Okay.
Honorable member.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Honorable Mahai.
Mejo simini aba.
Akwa banso.
Meja meda wase.
Hey, na de mama go MPP. Me te say Dr. Tufuasin kasa na machi ho. Me ti so bi kasa MPP 2038.
Ya yo mo osoro nketenkete. Omo yo osoro nketenkete. Yes.
Mo jo bo. Asa na mo pese nya ayi Ghana yet to say ayi your friend is say these countries here, one president in a communist country, one political party state in it just was obi
many about say what do want to talk all the African country be brave to Rwanda, any Rwanda nyepe. Rwanda konanim.
Yeah, Rwanda.
More political stability, more democracy fashion in the African way. And we be na democracy idea. I mean say yes America for the Britain for me one so your level of thinking any outlook nyina no omunyepe nti we must find a democracy a resonating with our tradition and our culture.
Okay.
Nti me gidi say eno no one the cardinal thing na high no nipa bi wo ho a wo ma no the authority any the way to play this democracy, they will abuse it. And you be who MPP abanum no. Look, Emrano Shishe Parliament NS Parliament essay or say or her abano say abandon excessive with expenditure. That is what the law says. But these people were not even, they didn't even care what Parliament does. Then come off on a Parliament to ebeye ho enka Frontier Health Service enka ankoso enka COVID-19 expenditure course basabasa enka ankoso enka cathedral enka yansi nti edu ba bia otimo dwen ho say classical democracy no, is it really good? But I don't think say NDC we are prepared say ye pese ye transfer forever. In fact ye beye na ye beye bia say na Ghana for the ebekobiem because it's about the needs of the people. When you meet the needs, omo kasa na utie, omo who say you are accountable to them, they will give you the opportunity.
Okay, so honorable him na Mr. Ringobit Kasimbi, because yehu budget presentation our parliament ya. Any yebebo figures no. Say bia this year 2025 200 billion. Bia and when your budget sika ye dey bo man ho akonoma ye di way ko sector way ye di way ko agency way ye di way ko department way ye di way ewra ya tibi said ye ne Dr. Kesa to forcing akwa brusi e dey na kire say the figure ye abubo nyina no dey say ye dey ye no enu an ye dey kwakwe because can for akwa parliament ya budget odi ko to dwan obiebiem we kwa ha we wura enya planted for food and jobs ya spend I think more than 3 billion ya adwan hutimi ye din wo Ghana ha ebi ne ye ka hwe force nkokonko annually $400 million, rice $2 billion in annually no ha dwenti e dey na kire se mu die sika na ye body no ko grounds won ye de akoye adwuma
uni ba medase ne ma ye budget we e different from previous budget ni oforiata budget ni say a lot of finance na e cost oforiata budget mo no a lot of them foreign support and also no a minister for loans one day one loan enche no akoji euro bond enunti unim say presentation we mu you have to force in time nim say mutie na o say our only other say ka non tax revenue ye benya ye other the only source of finance is you need that so no treasury bills you raising it locally. Only said now we can't go to the international bond market and could resist okay and it's a bilateral loan support we can't get and I say IMF support no so no say concessionary grant and our loan and sanka and yeah very much restricted and most of this financing thing that we are going to do is local finance. And I'm very hopeful. And the appropriation I pass, a lot of the revenue measures, tax revenue, non-tax revenue, concessions, grants, and pass. And also remember, say, when you say presentation, you are to forcing. Am I also say we are going to cut expenditure rationalization? You are going to cut expenditure in a lot of areas.
Okay.
Enuti expenditure so we increase expenditure and stimulate the economy no na ama growth akosoro enti mate se minimum MPP for you can say ade na omu growth rate say economy na say or yes omu say economy no now so omu growth rate 5% now so ye project say omu ye growth rate of 4% or is it 3%? Oh, so more complain. So what is so make those statements? It is because you see they are throwing dust into the eyes of the public. Now, I am surprised. Say Minister for Finance, the immediate past Minister for Finance, only did nyomo we achi.
Muhammad Adam.
I mean Adam. So broker we go with recklessness. To force in your mama, they are not reckless. The more you expend in the economy, the greater the growth rate.
Okay.
But the less you are spending in the economy because all liabilities to take care of. Remember, say, so the cocoa board the car. Now you could yakana sikana yetuano and call the productive sectors. It is just Bosiana Yabona Yokusiane Kaedeno. enti emma sa sika no ye nya growth e wo sa sika no ho because every system no mako energy sector debt na ye de ye kotua no sa sika no ye mfa nwura productive sectors mu enti ebe ma sika ye de be wura productive sectors mu akofem the more e no kofem no the growth rate will go down.
Okay, so it is say cocoa sector no e ka me fa say 32 billion na bia wako bobosia na de akwa akotua.
Yes.
Na bosia ho no so da wachi na yield interest at the ho but so wakwaje bosia ene bia cocoa farmers no incentives o munya no de ama wo mo a o mu produce more enti ubenya bi de afrim na wudi
na economy na enunti
na economy ni
yes enunti a we need to be realistic with the growth rate because say emeno ka say your debt your kaide e 721 billion that's the public debt say sika na yenya no and yes, you could to public in the next 4 years, you bet you 280 million public Ghana cities public debt.
Million or is it billion or million?
Billion.
280
billion.
Okay.
And 130 billion no, is domestic, and 150 billion is foreign. All those monies, it won't be in the productive sector. And the growth rate will not be increased. Say yes, some boss I can go. Look, electricity. ECG debt amode e 68 billion. Cocoa board cow mode cocoa board e de 32.5 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Because of the roll over, because ye koji sika no ye under supply last year sika na koji ye ya mo cocoa beans e de mo enti afi e wo say tua saka no nko an so the 480 million e be kind debt we liability afi another external debt servicing net for na maka ho asem Ministry of Health and liabilities for 15 billion. Ministry of Health outstanding debt apart from these liabilities MMDAs no and the Ministry of Health for no and 15 billion outstanding debt for Ministry of Health na 7 billion. Energy sector financing shortfalls $2.2 billion. I cannot go bebre cocoa road contract I awarded 1.02 billion. And because of this cost, we need to find money and pay this cost to be able to stand on our feet. And you have to cut a lot of the expenditures down. And the more you cut the expenditure, you will not stimulate the economy. The more you do, you cut down expenditure, you will not stimulate agri sector, or stimulate the industrial sector, or stimulate the manufacturing sector, and also the growth on over. And that's why we have a modest growth rate. But say you are to force in Jiran and so a nyoma way in kakran. Now economy in Jiran and so pay what I see. And the brilliance of Dr. Tuforsen, nyoma what demonstrates. MPP for catch the beside and say, you see, be levy, you be betting tax, you be COVID-19 emission tax. A henny benya bibi di ashim. And you have to force and say because of tax rebates and tax ceilings yamma abra encoded to the field no he's coming to cut that rate down from 6% to 4% and Onkwa will save us 3.41. It will give us 3.41 billion and more than 1.9 at the bottom tax is 1.9 and ohe enyoma and ya demonstrate ya e kira say and this are ready. And you're sure you're demonstrating BB and the most important thing I'm a fan of budget no taxes and tax rationalization. And this in John Mama and I'm to force and so say 11 affected the vulnerable group omo money be bojo for betting tax emrantie ni adwuma betting. It's not just the betting because every bet has a tax on it. But the winners, what win here we no say at 10%. Unfair tax on the youth. I say COVID, why do we still keep COVID in our way books? Emission levy. Say wo nana ote unika ofa passenger car, ofa trotro, ofa Uber neighbor. You say obi wa car no ye emission. Eyin wisie. And until to tax for be and a car we see. Until the vulnerable are going to suffer to force and let's cut it off. Let's use the tax on the corporate world. mining, quarry. They are big time companies. Sika omunya they repatriate a lot of them outside our country. And instead wo yebejo e-levy no. Yema mining companies into tax ebe cover e-levy. Unya baya eye social democratic to send this obeden why we. Until we are plugging all the loopholes, you use our taxes way through where the alternative has been made available by the Minister for Finance through the budget our presenting. And I share enyoma NDC promise here in our manifesto. Now me pesa Ghana for etie me nyina. Wa otifie kofa NDC manifesto. Na kofa state of the nation and president mama mae. Na fa to budget ato force mae no a progression from the promises. Intine president mama ba na no bae no all kind so na no na ne obeya ma Ghana for no na ayeti se ne all kind NDC manifesto
yeah,
or say national apprenticeship program, fee-free policy, sanitary pad, women's bank, disability for because school free,
the
big push agenda. All these things found space in the state of the nation, and all these things have found space in the budget.
Okay.
And to me, you question most of revenue domestic. And I Minister of Finance and Finance Minister don't just wake up. No, I can't say no. There is budget hearing. GRE. All the baby taxes MIA ceilings about their capabilities.
Okay.
It is scientific. Intermediate say plus or minus 5. Most of the resources I say can be called their domestic revenue.
Okay, because Honorable William said me share and 2025 budget no. Said me share allocation to various sectors or programs. The big push kwa manifesto no kwa na 10 billion.
Yes.
But no why no 13.85 billion.
Of course.
Na ohwe no sika ya twetwe sika ya checheche send ya wo kan nyina no we nyina ye revenue a was ye generate domestically.
Yes.
Ghana
of course.
Ghana Revenue Authority through mobilization of revenue do mo ebenya ye nkwa euro bond market.
Yep.
Hey ebe yiri
o
ana meba se meba taxes so a ebe mi esika yi levy matwem betting tax matwem emisie tax matwem ena the other mine is 1.7 so matwem ena tese matwa taxes bako 5 ba munyi taxes we nu nyina mu twa 5 mu firi hono no a yen san so kwenti mi nkona international market en san so nkobo bosia no. So these things, these policies, yeah, one manifesto more. Matwetwa sika kase no. Achievable. Is this something that target a master tia we bet me meet because ni now 2025 budget team we bet me enroll.
Okay, you know about yemfa e-levy my 1.9 billion. That is the maximum still on e-levy demand. Betting tax am 480 million. So basically the two of them, no, betting tax my 280 million or 300 something million. The two of them Kambum just a little over 2 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Tax refund ceilings in Kwa.
Okay, and emitie honorable no e-levy no 1.9 billion.
Very good.
Betting tax 180 million.
180 million.
Yeah.
And the two of them just around 2 billion. But tax refund ceilings in Kwa ebe my 3.4 billion.
Okay.
So it will make up for 2 no.
Okay.
It will even over make it up for the 2.
And
remember say we are also a tax rationalization, company tax, mining tax, ceiling quarry tax, and it's annual money just to rake in the needed revenue to make sure say make sure also remember say we have other sources of revenue apart from taxes. Ghana for no the tax no beto omoso but they beto bigger companies also they must fund our development, they must help us develop the country, no money opportunity to come and expand their business. And to me sure say you the needed revenue handles are ye de be nyoma we nyina na utie budget na nyoma president mama ehebo nyina me ba na obi bisa me say na nyoma ye say be nyina ye wi a 3 years aka ye de na be ye. And I'm saying, Mama, on your Dr. Baumio, no, I can say, if I fix it, what will I do when I become president? President Mama say only Ghana for assign contract social contract yɛde aba ahyɛ ne nsa nti ne ɔbɛyɛ no 120 days ɛwɔ hɔ ne ɔbɛyɛ no a year ɛwɔ hɔ ne ɔbɛyɛ no 4 years ɛwɔ hɔ ne ɔbɛbɔ so yi nyinaa yɛ nyɔma a ɔse yɛbɛyɛ nti me pretty confidence because of you rely on external donors much of the time because nneɛma yɛ ha yɛ adwene ne sɛ yɛtumi pass appropriation na almost like 40% of revenue no ɛbɛhia no ɛyɛ donor funded donors no nso no you can't force them to bring you money untimi force them so mo fa sika no mra enti se mra no so na mo benya ba no mo anya ma expenditure was ye no yentimi nye but this time we have to cut our coat according to our size eno ene ne Dr. Force in person o kire yin okay eno ene ne John Mama e de a hye ne nsa se o meka kire Ghana for enti na nipa eti e bia nka minim se mo hwe no TV so na so ya ye wo chamber ho no ye ne ehu se John Mama wa can people for anu atom e de no mbeka
ogu party
o see 24-hour economy no or the policy document no e ba and we are going to start implementing the 24-hour economy afi President Mama say sanitary pad no promise enkwala no o de ba o de ahye budget no first year admission fee na o say obi entu admission fee no o de ahye budget no nursing and teacher training allowances no or the share budget no afi women development bank we twa 51 million Ghana cedis e de ato ho mate so bibi sa say ai bank recapitalization kura no hia sika o hia na o de ati bank e 400 million ade na we twa 50 million o mi sa me question sa e ye me nwanwa okay nyina na e kotra school ho na President Mama pesa o kire ne say ene women development ya te ana say yente we need to set it up sika wo ya watwa yi enya capital a yedi koto bank ho for adwuma yedi be ye no eye sika yedi betwa yedi be free bank na se yedi be identify say which are the areas a yedi bank ni be si all the feasibility and structural program a ye be ye okay eduru say ye capitalize bank na the money to capitalize the bank will also be announced. Okay. Enti omo nti ase.
Enti 51 no feasibility study.
Not just the feasibility, okay. How to set up the bank itself.
Set up the bank itself.
Okay. Yes.
Say baby will cry, baby will.
Yeah, baby will high, baby. That is what that money.
Okay.
Until I see the initial capital to start the Women Development Bank, we will give this amount. I say free secondary education program no for the first time budgetary support 3.5 billion. Okay. And yet just verbal. And you know where we are going to do it? We are going to uncap the GET fund. Meaning about me not here. GET fund sikana ejije. Aban we the GET fund sikano akwaji dachi bond. There are two things that affect GET fund. Or the sikano akwaji 1.5 billion. Yeah, this is sikano ahead of time.
Dollars are nice.
$1.5 billion.
Okay.
Into any time one. Yeba jije GET fund sikano. Emu 66% ekutua sa sikano.
Odi akosi awowa.
Odi akosi awowa.
Okay.
Ene yaji sikano. Ene yedi ni net se ne wo pesa wo ye nkokɔ. Na wa wi nkosua ne na akokɔ ne nam ho. Enti odi akosi awowa.
Aji sikana be.
1.5 ndi yaji adi. Ena ejije GET fund sikana. NDC wo ho no. Yaji sikana nyina kɔ GET fund ye cheche ema educational institutions no. Ena aban we ba yi. Odi sikano akotwa akɔgye awowa. Akosi awowa.
Abandada no.
Abandada na ho MPP aban na kufu ado aban no. Eni ba omi aban no.
Ye magu no no.
Yes, odi akosi awowa. Endi yagigi sika no taxes no wi a emu 66% ekotua kanobi. Emu 64 na 34% no. Eno so ye capped. Capture say sika no bi ka eka central government ho. 2017 abano passe the Capping and Realignment Act. Institutions bi wo ho a GET fund ka ho musika omoje no abano gi bi ka central government no ho. Ansa na kakra ko GET fund a distributu enunti our secondary school yensi no.
So the purpose behind this GET fund
was dead. Okay. MPP Diego GET fund completely.
Okay.
Ato force and say ye ma dedicated funding for free SHS. First ye on cap GET fund no. Ye yi cap na free so no enti 100% sika ni nyina no ebeko GET fund ho. Ne to so mienu dachi fund no aban na nkasa agi fund no utua. Ye tua sa sika no ye ma GET fund ntua aban agi aka liabilities a ewa aban no ho. This is creativity, ingenuity.
So get fund no. Ya di akosia owa. E di akwaji bosia $1.5 billion.
Yes.
Ababe di Akufo-Addo na buy mo ababe di.
Very much.
E just say get fund anu gusu ekasa no ejina eka no. But President Mahama ban say sa eka no wasom. Omu betua.
Oma enka get fund books mu.
Okay. Na get fund na enne ne ho.
Enti
sika bia ye benya wo get fund mo no. Ye di education sector.
Yes. And no na ye di be dedicated funding for the free SHS no.
Because ya cancer free SHS no. Ehi ne ye sika
free. Usually I rely on annual budget funding amount mo.
Okay.
Which doesn't come.
Okay.
Enti school no egu kura headmasters for ntimi nka no. Enti ankola no aduan no omudi egwemi. No omudi banku. But this time, under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama, we are going to get a dedicated funding. Yet free SHS no. And until fee 3.5 billion echo free SHS mono. Oh yaba, I say 546 million Ghana cedis. Free curriculum-based textbooks. Miniaba, and Kolanu Sian there for years. Textbooks are. Omodi besua de bi ni ho enti core subjects from basic level akusi JHS no they didn't even have textbooks. You dedicated 564.6 million for textbooks as a school feeding program. And also na nkola no ye feed omo 1 cedi 50 pesos and on pone 1 cedi 20 pesos. Now no ya budget ye pass ye January budget and you go 1 cedi 50 say you go 2 cedi, that is 33% increase.
Okay.
Yenim say it is not enough. But send you be a tighten the belt no. Nyame ya dom na ye economy isi ho wi a. Ye betum amana kwa anim bio.
Okay, honorable Yembra 9.93 billion allocation for National Health Insurance Scheme. And also what boss say National Health Insurance levy so say and also sa.
And hell no so ya kapo no.
Ya kapo ne sa.
Nti no so no president mama say obeyi kapi na free ho. Na sika na ebeba no ebe ko National Health Insurance no no omutim dia ye dwuma omudie enti afi bosika no sika na allocate no
9.93 billion Ghana cedis
very
National
Health Insurance scheme. Okay. Very good.
Enti sika bia ye be GD free National Health Insurance levy mu bia no
ekom enti ye be claims payment ye be non communicable diseases aban so obeti fund for non Mahama case. So what is our boss our policies no so
manifesto ni
very good enti
when so crown cap in our manifesto
manifesto say be on cap it's part of the 120 days a year president mama at the mine enti me sure say in the minds of MPP for ne omo MPs ne to homu tie you know any MPP for we fie nyina etie nyina me sure say in their minds what they were saying is say look enyoma we nyina wo ho a enka yebetimi aye ama oma we akoso
ya so kra de
yenya sika ya anye na sene ade adwoma ama yeyi ye be ye dan na konwa abedi ensa biom MPP fo nyina na ewuro mutirim eno na ma ato forcing afenyo markings ye man no kwan say onkasa no he was completely confused. He was dazed. Or ye mesmerized. No nimni o ye because something nyina wakan wie nsempa no ye hwie gu ho entimi ni oba ene budget yi de mi hu budget ama hope sada
onim yenhwe District Assembly Common Fund 7.51 billion Ghana cedis allocation for District Assembly Common Fund.
Yes,
previous administration neko.
And also another big issue. Look, at the center of your democracy we decentralization. And to kind Article 34 our constitution no more. Will say every district in the budget statement, every district, every region must be covered in the budget statement. But enam say central government entimi nyam puntujuma every district in Tino. We have a law regime Emma Quine Emma Abano distribute resources to every district. Send a budget never pass. Since the assembly where there will be a school that is built, there will be a hospital that is built, there will be a road that is built. Now Basa na Article 34 directive principle of state policy no. Now, cost MPP for buy no. The first is to cap a lot of the state revenues. No? Capping and realignment act is the worst act I've ever seen because it keeps a Disikanoma center. Then they decide what to do with the money. Instead, grounds no. And we are not just sending 7.51 billion. No. Yeah, the Marato home say, and we are going to insist say 80% of these resources must go to the assemblies. Say the assemblies no sika e was center ha no atwam. Because se sika no ko assembly a omo nanim suku a asai e wo hia manchene. Ana kwa denden. Okay. Ana chechenchwa. Okay. So that it will go to the very crony who can look of the country. And sika no ko assembly a e ho na mpuntu no koso. Central government there no oye major project a assembly ni ntimi nye. Enti NDC President Mills and President Mama e wo ho no. A lot of infrastructure projects because na common fund no the intended purpose. Now this common fund represents 7%. Emrano, say you should do between 5 and 7%. The immediate past government between 5 and 7%. Immediate past government they were doing less than 5%. And no nema podo edo court. And my court release say Aban should go to reconciliation. President Mama say or the year Juma. Now he's not just doing it or increasing allocations, No, increasing allocations, so I'll be making sure say 80% of those resources equal to the assemblies. Now assemblies no want to assembly Maya, you have to obey you. Say the next assembly election. Next assembly election. Then they say you benya the cream de la cream. Quality people are. Omo bi enso betimi aboa ama local governance akoso. Menuaba obekwa assembly o kwa woman for say wo kwa this assembly no or assembly man unya hwema omo na yedi watem obekọ ukodu assembly ho bibia nkoso wa unya resources bia mfiri ho onso yedi watem enti nipa bebre wo say omo de omo hye local governance mu no omo fo omo ho hyem ene president Mama say o hye mu kena 100 million Ghana cedis as allowance for assembly members enti he is in for Mpuntu, not just at the center, but decentralization kasa in ODP no.
Okay. Na Obianim said this budget no dear. Enka teacher trainee allowance dear enka ebeya adianka yente ho asem. Yenim say bi eja ye friend say this loan scheme and anka modeba. But finance minister say teacher trainee allowance no and 2025 budget team no 203 million Ghana cedis. Nursing trainee allowances 480 million Ghana cedis. But na ye hwe kwan say o mo allowances ne de enka loan scheme ya say de didi nkomoi. So what changed?
Who say President Mama buy no what a team for education dialogue team. Amoma Koshia. We are to issue a white paper on Nyom Koshia. Okay. We could have another discussion on the nursing training allowances. But say betwa mrem ne yentwa mremu a egusi yemra. Okay. Yenya ntwa mu ne de e wo ho. Nti se etwa wie na if you have another conversation say yenyina yagitum say nursing and teacher training allowance must go and replace with loaner. Say na promise na we will come back to it. But say idea yenya nyeye no you have no option but to capture it in the budget and to make provision for it. And interpret the Mama make a provision. No? I'm sure say at the final stage we are based on recommendation education review committee and education dialogue committee no kushia no there will be a white paper near who the way forward with the allowances. But see idea he's staying true to the Ghanaian youth ne emrante ne my omo nursing training mu ye nyina omo nyina ka omo rep nyina ka education dialogue na ye no major decision omo take ye no be implemented later on. But see idea it must be captured. Okay.
Honorable yemma say no omai no ye nyina ye hwese the backbone be kwa akogina agric. Good. US agriculture chief on crack
agriculture.
Come with you kana ha. Enti no with the introduction of planting for food and jobs no na Ghana for nim se be menwane abun kam dia faso. Sure. But ye hunu sa after spending more than 3 billion Ghana cedis planting for food and jobs no eduane ho odin. Woko domi a tomatoes gu hɔ a yɛbɛka kyerɛ wo sɛ efiri Burkina jane efiri hɔ a yɛbɛka kyerɛ wo sɛ efiri Mali jane bu ku esi Mali afɛ jane bu ayɛ de na ayɛ de den ɛnom ne ade this time around no mo buy NDC aban sɛ 1.5 billion Ghana cedis allocation for agriculture for economic transformation agenda.
Very good. When we say one of the ministries I want to Ministry for Trade and Industry and Agribusiness. So there's going to be a link between the Agri Ministry and the Agri Trade Ministry.
Okay.
One of the major policies are a feature in the SONA, a feature a manifesto, a feature of her agriculture for economic transformation. AET, agriculture for economic transformation. There is a portion of this amount going into poultry. There's a portion going into fishery. There's a portion going into food crop.
So 1.5 billion.
Yes, there's a portion going into cash crop.
Okay.
But innovation back one. Minister for Finance Eddie Abane say it doesn't make entrasumu say minister back in parliament. I can every sector ministry be asem. Enti what we are going to do is say every sector ministry ebeba with a comprehensive plan based on ceilings here Eddie Amomi. Enti Minister of Agric beba. Enti say now her budget now within 1 hour 20 minutes no kind budget na we. You departed from the previous year. You kind of because no credit say and some na you have to force ebe kan efa agric ministry no omo de nyoma no budget here no if agric ministry ne buy na free trade but na free trade ministry ne buy so the better person to explain them will be the trade minister na have to force be ne say ono be ma all the financial bones no na the various ministers at the flesh na be ka ho nti me sure say send president mama anije
it will be a bit design
obi a policy no based on sika ye twa ma no
okay
you bring us comprehensive implementation plan
okay
which usually finance minister na be kan ni nyina but because I'm no twa ntini twa na bridge
okay
ye ma abbreviation ntine minister for communication be ba be ka kire say sika ye twa ma minister for communication no onim say we e policy document na ban dia bai estimate na nkasa be ba ye be discuss estimate na nkasa e floor of parliament committees e ba be hwe enti ministry bia the comprehensive detailed assessment of what they want to use sikano for enti me sure say agric minister no ba agric for economic transformation enkoko nkete ka ho eye fishery sector no ka ho eye cash crop cocoa production ni cocoa sector no ka ho any other crops ka ho no e be ma in detailed analysis but ye ka kire me ni say President Mama asi edi simpuntu okwan so because ye agrarian economy say you so agrip me ye wo arable lands ye wo land a eboa e support agriculture but ye high empa no one the land tenure system 2 financing enti say ye ma financing especially youth into agriculture na che say ye build the economy up 1 create employment 2 yenya import substitution enyoma ye kra e basa ne wo ka say ye kra jene ye kra ntosi ne nyoma no say ye ma economic transformation ye adwuma e be ma ye nkwan ama yenya import substitution na sidi no ho aye den
okay
e be ma ye mrante no so adwuma aye na afeed into the industries I say ye be 24-hour economy no agric sector component e wom no ye benya the industry ni raw materials e de aye enti menu aba me ye sure say ye hwe agric sector si any core agric sector ho a say na ye nkwala na say agric 60% of our economy now so ye nyina ye nim say export to primary products enti amasika ene mfaso so yenya wo ho no yenya say implement budget way to it core me ye sure say sa benefit no ebeba man
okay so ohwe allocation ni mu nyina the big push program no agenda no so pa 13.85 billion Ghana cedis. I
am so happy with President Mama. Do you know
the big push na ya dey na wo?
Do you know why? Africa, we heard the World Bank report ne underdeveloped countries are capital expenditure as a percentage of GDP capital expenditure as a percentage of GDP say a person you develop here what man can agree expert in economics in finance agree say economy be a person in a grow no must invest in the capital expenditure portion into obia the budget ba na for the capex no so goods and services send in the no e ya dey cost spend and for resources mre biom and for bibia mre but so unya babia ye betim the resources na share na e dey returns abre ye ya look mama a typical example University of Ghana Medical Center a capital expenditure etua ne hoka okay atuabo gas plant capital expenditure etua ne hoka
Greater Accra
Regional Hospital afi okotema oko airport terminal 3 etua ne hoka
MPS
those are capital expenditure projects so we are buying na wanya and stimulate growth in the economy and a big push in the person here say ye de sika no e be hye economy num ye de be si akwan ye de be ya akwan ye de be si schools ye de be di hospitals enti wa wo okromu a wo pe kwan wo pe school wo pe we no bompa ye say ye betima implement ade we na in the next budget ye be increase ade we from 13 billion akọ 20 billion mpo okay because eno na ba ye school no be ye yie ya kwan be ye yie hospitals na ye go ho ebe ye yie e blocks ni betimi asisi and is this big push you know the big infrastructure plan of President Mama wo look in 2020 budget num manifesto num it was $10 billion me no nyina nim say between 2020 and now normal has increased to true faith in Ghanaians he didn't just state the 10 billion or the 13 billion to make up for inflation to make up for nyoma asisa. And Major say it's one of the key things in fact one of the first thing on your priority list no the big push because NDC by ohini bia empuntu ohia no President Mama Duro Katan say oh by there yenim say oh empuntu ohene ona osi akwan ona oyi akwan ona osi dan ona osi hospitals enti wo by be maye enti it's good that we are catching her.
So former finance minister Amin Adam said we never collected or implemented the betting tax.
I am truly surprised and shocked today.
Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive.
Honorable.
Miniaba, enti tax the hen na ba umi aso betwam no.
Levy.
Minia. Tax about me. Oh, say me no time. I catch it. Say betting tax no. Every key 180 million Ghana cedis for government. Say me catch it.
2024.
2024.
Per reporter.
Yes. 180 million Ghana cedis.
Hey, some dey be wo kura imo.
Betting tax no. You passing no parliament.
Okay. Yeah, bay.
In the 2024 budget no.
Okay.
We passed betting tax in 2023.
2023,
yes.
Not 2020. Okay.
You pass betting tax, you pass company law, emission levy, you pass it around the same time.
Okay.
We spoke against it. You kasa wo ho emrante na ATM no.
Finance minister say one man implement.
Emrante na ATM no. Ene maya na ATM no, mo twa betting no. Ye bisa mo say mo 10% no. Amani tiana wante.
Oh, me tam ko nka me fa course be 2 bisa.
O fa court a. O fa course.
Me fa course 2 bisa o mo twa betting. Me wo 2 me 2 minutes na me bisa o mo say. betting tax na starting me pay 2 calls per 0302208090 me patcho wo twa betting na frame me twa betting en frame me 0302208090 betting tax no I mean Adam say omo implement it. They never collected or implemented betting tax. Enti mu amu twan ba honorable say per report ekuta omu 180 million Ghana cedis 2024. Kwame ana ontwa betting. Ontwa betting dey enfan. Ontwa betting. Na Dr. Bomia so betwa betting tax.
Enti dey enta na Bomia so betwam no. So betwa betting tax mu. Enti beta wan fanya adwuma dey na so betwam.
Also yenya obi otwa betting. Enti yemisa no. Yenya obi otwa betting to dey yemisa ni pakro.
Hello, Mama.
Yes, darling.
Me bet 82,000 something. Why is it that so? Sika eba no, 1,700 with some points. It's almost one of the more saying and say, almost betting tax and bar in front of Mucha. Yama, you parliament one day in front of Mucha, man. In front of Mucha, my young Ghana youth, rap parliament one day. What I say?
Okay, what's it? Ultra bet? Oh, me producer, I free. Hello, good evening.
Hello,
Mini Abama, betting tax no. What should be that? What we implement here?
So, betting tax, no. Say music kind, say I'm tea of one on BB. They say ne budget na. Financial support.
Bacho, medasi. Ochina baby atum ni aye budget bacho. Bacho. The obi na me pe obi a. Honorable Fana West na ye me pe obi obeka betting tax me nya obi. So otwa bi di 2,000 plus. Omo te no ama ne ba so nya 1,500.
The 10% was actually implemented. And I dare the former minister for finance say Edian tax na Dr. Baumia so betwam no. And 180 million na ehun wo ho no, what was the source of finance? Okay. Etiminua the Nemeka finally ne say Ghana for democratic revolution na 2024 omo de farm no omo yeye no a de NDC buy no ehun emfaso e na start ba no the first enyoma president mama so be in the 120 days no waye mu bebre yaye 60 days just 4 days na abetoso
na 60 days no na magu MPP
enti say o ma free osono aye osono ketenkete enti ye kan say big push na ye promise ye no ye free ase 2025 year mu
okay
academic fee ye say first year ubenya first year free academic fee no ye free ase afi wa we disable wo de school no untu fees throughout we stay at tertiary level.
Okay, the oye disable sabe obi a wadi dem kakra kan na wom ne nsa ya no o ti reach mu obe
tertiary no free
3 years ni nyina
3 years or say 4 years so e free distribution of sanitary pads yamfa ya no anka ne keke ya deliver ya de ahye budget no. Yes, idea yo. 3.5 billion dedicated funding for free SHS. 13 billion big push yeah they call infrastructure including e-blocks na president mama sisi ye no. Any akwan. Enti we nyina e kire yen say Ghana fo anto aba na ngu. Me sure say obi o Ghana oti budget ni bia have been convinced. Me nua me hwe yenua pani our Imani Ghana, Franklin Kujo. Me any post. Also, he didn't see it coming.
No.
He didn't see say you are to forcing. Ebe yusu tax ceiling no. A progi the loopholes ebeto. There's a fresh air. Now me come and say me nyina no. We and Dr. Stephen Ade huni MPP stand supporter Dr. Stephen Ade. Or say in the first 100 days of President Mama no. Apart from Kwame Nkrumah, President Biya ni ho a waba Ghana, auto President Mama the first 100 days.
Yes.
Abe be so a ifra no pa.
Yes. Honorable. ya men come ho
ese me da mase
mu shia president Mahama mo kan che say ye no mu bia ye sacrifice ye adwuma de man no ye nu ye ho na wate ye nim.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was for Tan constituency member of parliament Honorable Adama Sulemana ena meneno Franklin Kujo ose smart finance minister reducing tax refund to take care of eliminated taxes. You didn't see that coming. A human budget fresh air. Okay, I was for hey Grafoni party negu a good diane send ye Benji Estate and Investment Limited. Kofi nyame che Ghana fo nyina kofi se Ghana yede enti nyame boa na aboa no nkakra ko pasase pedwa pade enu na mfaso ewo so Ghana fo nyina kofi minu hia ya chew
sa pepe pa ho fe
enumre majo
ye nuaba
kofi Ghana when your sister 8 years
Nyame nshiranye
Benji Estate see edi bronye na achede no muguso am
na ye guso won say obi ho a wate ye nkadada nti obaba na osi o mete mu nka ache na ma ho bo ansum nti eno ana ye guso a ye nti ye toaso e de ama nti so obi so ye ntemba ono so benya sa opportunity no a
okay nti ye nkwane kire mu bia mu kire Ghana fo
mate ebuso yebema wa achen yebema wa ha yebema wa adwo yebema wa kwa ba isanse fidie iso obi tia na adwo obi tia nopa baby bia wutie bia no we wudi efrimu enunti ye kan say na eye Benji Estate and Investment mu bisaye ya san aba enunti mesra wa ba dia na yeso ya ba ye ba dia na chasa ensampa no na ye de na Benji Estate and Investment say bra beje asase na tuatua no nkakra beje asase na tuatua no nkakra and it is a ubetuatua no nkakra dia na baby enu a wodi weni e kire se eye Benji Estate and Investment na Benji Estate and Investment sa obehwa ye dwumede ye hya ase acha kakra and it ye se ye betwe ye ho kakra na obia so ba na o se mete mo nka ma boaboa me ho afi na ma ye ready and it sa offer ne de me ma no empa metiri so and Benji for se waka na sa ya te yenso ye de osie ebe ye oyo and it Benji Estate se insase no ana ye guso a ye twitwa no nkakra and it yensa se na ye twa no 70 by 100 na me pa ocho wankasa o de wusika wa ekuta wa sede ya ka kire no nkete no de ababetua na wonso waye asase ewura enti Benji Estate Investment se mfrinsie du na ye di 10 years anniversary yesra wo yenya enwie ye enti se wo twan dia ba to hwe na obi amfa chinchini andan we aso akwa ana baba no na ya ka cho se promotion no ye wie ye mpacho megidi se ba ha opa enti ye ntam na bra onso beje asase e wo chopoli beje asase e wo shai osudoku beje asase e wo afienya beje asase e wo after Central University Benji Estate se de ye hie nyina ne se wo de ye kwa asase no so memene biara enti franye ende dey na onso book appointment se memene de wo ye nima ebe obaba beje asase na asase no aye wonso wodea enti de ye hia nyina no se no nso wode deposit of 5,000 Ghana cedis mpacho she no nso mame asase ni nyina ne bo no se esu se esau mpacho sika wode to ase na wetuatua de aka no nkakra aye 5,000 Ghana cedis ya homa no aye 0248 78 0887 0248 780887 and I say 0553 116602 0553 116602 Benji Estate and Investment say me pacho auto asase wo ye nkyanya untu sika ngu ye ka investment ade a wode to emamfaso abaso ade a nkyirima benya so mfaso ade a ebewo amount and into Benji Estate and Investment say beje asase ne tuatua na nkakra na wonso beye asase ewura and into Benji Estate say apart from yensase ye twa no 70 by 100 no mesro ye wo ensase a obetimi ede aye more ensase a obetimi ede aye ekwan ho ejapade ahodo a wa sade a open biara enti apart from ensase nso a ye ka ho asemi nso so ye wo ensase ne bi e wo emmea ahodo bebre eba no barter trader se mpacho wo ka bia no so is in good condition and also what the Benji estate ye beje na wonso ya mawo asase enti me pacho bombode na fakas ni bibra na unu akofi me so mitatra makoben mu na enkrofo nso so nya asase no eso emfa so enti Benji estate se beje asase e wo Chopoli New Airport City Chopoli New Airport City me pacho asase no eye 25,000 mesra o man sika boti no a 20,000 ana ye de amount me pacho asase no eye 20,000 Ghana cedis 20,000 Ghana cedis se sika boti no eye 25,000 no so o man cash there mesra ya chew 5,000 enenti asase no eye 25,000 na afi o man cash money Benji say ya the amount 20,000 Ghana cedis and into Benji estate and investment say brana beje asase ewo Shai Osudoku asase eye 30,000 Ghana cedis 30,000 Ghana cedis me pacho onso ukuta 25,000 ya de asase no ebe maw mesra onso onfa so a obenya ene 5,000 no Benji estate say yensa singina ye twa no 70 by 100 a well demarcated insuo nkania akwan nyina ewo so edada ene me pacho ehu hia se wo kwa akọ struggle wo kwa hwehwe insuo kania ene akwan ansan wetimi akọ ofie Benji estate and investment say ya ye we mu nyina ama odada odi kan eba ntem nso a wasase ho nkrata ye nje okapre ye nje odama ye pacho ye be ye nyina ede amam ye Benji estate and investment enenti Chopoli asase 25,000 Ghana cedis said the American kan no cash money no awode man ye pacho ye amount 20,000 now also the 5,000 no atunsuo bi now the top blocks egu asase no so saa so na Shai Osudoku asase no 30,000 also my bulk money and also ye de ba 25,000 Ghana cedis ya homa no 0248 780887 0248 780887 Mr. asase ho nsem deja ansase amma nipa bebre akonsedo enenti bibi aya asase enwe free mu a mesra fache na mesra hyew ho eden Benji estate se a genuinely ye ma nsase a asembiara ene ho ahemfo sembia ene ho langard asembia ene ho meko na maba asembia ene ho ye dwumedi a yedi aban ensa hye ye dwumedi nyina ase enti ye wo documentation ana documenta e kire se bibi biara ededa na akwan so enti Benji estate se fa ontoma ebebo ye de anompanifo se de onim to ene ye ni gina kirempon so ene ti bra na ene Benji estate and investment emedidwa se moye ebusua se moye ejumekuo se asafo ana se asori ana church Benji se ebema obebi ema wonso wetimi afre no media enenti Benji se dia onimito no ono ene yede ne ejina kirempon so enti bra beje asase ewo ye nchen na wonso so ye efie wura Benji se yesan ewo asase ewo afienya a ebento estate afienya a eben tema oil refinery asase no 70,000 Ghana cedis 70,000 Ghana cedis o my out front money pacho Benji say ye de ebemma 65,000 Ghana cedis 65,000 Ghana cedis ebimpo na ya sign ate so edi eka ho edi amount na ebia ye de amount 60,000 enti Benji say ye promotional ye on say ye ko istemu enti ye wura istemu de na chese bonuses ahodo no afi Ghana ye dey na chese ye tutususu nkakra na ye de nya asase na ye nso ya ye asase wura ensase ning na ye 70 by 100 ene ye twa no Benji says pass asase half protein pa ye betwa edi amount enti ene enkasa ewo 0553 116602 0553 116602 6602 0553 116602 Benji Estate and Investment and I'll bet me a friend 0248 780887 0248 780887 Benji Estate and Investment. Yes, bra ma yendidwa na yewo asase ebiem enso so ewo Central University after Central University B5 Enclave bepacho eho asase eye 60,000 Ghana cedis 60,000 Ghana cedis mepacho deposit 5,000 or the 5,000 na eto ase na asase no abeye wo de ye kwa asase no so memrende bia ye kwa asase no so ye hia nyina ne sa wo be frɛ na wa kyerɛ nsa memrende aye a ewo ye nimi wo ba mesra wo ba bedu ya so ya ye de wo betena ka mu ede wa kwa asase no so na ya san ede wo aba a ye njo ahyɛntwade biara Benji Estate mompene na ya ade mombo nsɛmman na yi ase a anka mesra ma ho fefo beba bedan ase Benji Estate say deposit 5,000 Ghana cedis na ye ma wa abosum be ye miensa ekosi insia na fetuetua ne kakra nkra na mpo sa wa ho oden antumi abosum insia no a Benji say unni ho a ye ni wo wonti na ye wo ho enti ye be ma wo abre ene adagye penifo say we nya adagye a untimi nye beyie enti bra na ene embedidwa ewo ya soeye Benji Estate and Investment say ye wo nsuo nkane ene akwan ewo yensa ase nyina so memrenda ene yekọ ensase so enti sister onso betimi abaye fie wura Ghana ebeye de Ghana fa nintima pefra enti esese wonso utimi nye bebi a wodi utito enti Bible say sakrama ewotu efie pa de oni bebi odi nitito ana oni pa ba no oni bebi odi nitito nanso ene modern word de esese menu mienu yenya bebi edi yetito esanse rent edi yesika ache ya trankrofo fie ache sesi a Benji Estate se ya transe ye bu nkompo ya hwe yechi ya do esuko na afi ye hunu se ampa obibia betimi esidan enti Benji Estate and Investment se opa abo ahwea cement bibi biara ye di sidan a ya soye ye be ma obi ema wonso odi esi wodan na wonso waba aba ye efie ewura afi opa nsase ewo pram dodo wa temakom 25 apart from mmemme ya bobo so enan chopoli afienya dodo afienya Central University na afi Shai Osudoku a yebenye bi ede amaw ye won sase a ewo akwan ho ye won sase ewo akwan ho a onso obenye bi enenti frenye ewo 0248 780887 0248 780887 and 0553 116602 0553 116602 Benji Estate and Investment say any endida madawase